Hello. Welcome back to the Cranky Live channel. Your bearded host is there. Bless up One Love. Boy, One Love, you early all the time, boy. I tell you. One Love says, who want a bet for 1,000 Canadian dollars that Jamaica not going to the qualify for the World Cup? One Love, I will take you up on that bet, sir. I'm not really a gambling person, but I would love to partake of that bet with you. 1,000 Canadian dollars are not like Jamaican dollars. It's much more, but I would take it in that bet. Give my little so-called insights that I have. I'll take that bet. Bless up, so for your record. Come on, people, come into the chat. Now we're Pano. Because I think people have to drown their sorrows this evening. After that performance, which is a mixed performance. And some people are going to think it's horrible. We got 4-1. Is the game reflective of a 4-1 game? I don't think so. I think there were some bad that came out the game and some worse that came out the game and some worse. I think everybody's saying there's a theme here, though. Teams have sacked the coach. Not good. I did get a few more subscribers, but I need much more than what I got. People, come on, people, subscribe and hit the like button. I forgot to set up a thing for the poll when I came in. Big summer. Yeah, I think the boys need a rest, man. Yeah. I think it's a permanent vacation for me and Makala. But I'm getting some much fee, so hopefully JFF have somebody to pay them. Marin and Steve out. They're not going nowhere. You talk about out. You know what? I should find out when the press conference is. Let me see some people. If we can jump on. Yeah, let me just see if we can find out if press conference. Yeah, then. Press conference kickoff 6 p.m. What the hell is this? Kickoff 6. I don't see the press conference thing though. Simon, slack up now. Hey Simon, yeah, slack up Simon. Simon, yeah, slack up. You put up their lineup late. Simon, yeah, slack up. Good afternoon, Energy Z. A lot of people are not happy with this outcome. Not happy with this outcome at all. Not happy with this outcome. It's a difficult game. We got outplayed for long parts of the game in some instances. But we had some, in every situation, people, there's always a silver lining, I think. Always a silver lining. So don't depress. There's silver lining. So you guys, you can call in 347-728-8625. Just pretend say Sports Explosion I'm not calling to. And I may have a nonsense meter if you go so if you don't want to. People, hit the like button. Even though we're not started. Because the program is always good. So hit the like button. If you just joined us, if you were on Mars or you just came back to Earth, and you came to the CONCACAF Gold Cup tournament, where Jamaica has made at least the quarterfinals for the last 5 tournaments. But then in those tournaments, Steve McClaren was not the coach. Merrin Gordon was not the assistant. Trevor Sinclair was not the assistant. And so therefore, we made it to the quarterfinals, semifinals, and Tapa went to what? 2 finals? But it seemed like the one theme we're getting is the coach. Right? And we can think about it from 2 ways. We can think about the game itself and how it transpired and the ultimate outcome for the game, right? And we can think about the process to how we got here. Maybe what we'll do the game first, and then we'll do the process of how we got to where we are, and why is it that there's so much despondency, so much despair, so much concern about ultimately where we end up. Right? Ultimately where we end up. So let's go to the first thing, which is the game. I thought we started off real slow frankly, poor. I knew the weather was going to be a factor, but I don't think it was as much as a factor as I thought it would be. So we started off real poor, and it sort of got worse from there a little bit. Let me try to hook this up. Good night, good night, good night. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, Peter. Respect, Cranky.
Peter. Well, I said Peter. I talk Pato tonight. How are you doing?
Yeah, man. Everything is cool. I told you, I called you recently. Well, I typed in your comment section on Casey Palmer as a joke. When I called you the other day, I said to you that where the coach might be at fault sometimes the way he set up the team. These players are woeful. They need to take responsibility, right? Now, I was listening to your commentary while I was watching the game. I mean, it don't take much common sense from Casey Palmer, who's a professional playing in England, to not make that stupid foul and give away the penalty, right?
Well, Casey was responsible for 2 goals. 2 goals.
Exactly. Yeah, Number 2, he gave away the last goal. What the hell? He has passes, right?
Yeah.
You don't do that deep in your half or the half line. I think the team without trying to peg back a goal. You over the ball, right? You do that down in the attacking third if you're going to do something like that.
Yeah, Casey's playing his way. He's playing his way at the squad.
If you notice, Casey, he does a lot of walking.
Yeah,
on the field.
Yeah, he does.
So I don't know if it was you said it one time, but somebody say, sorry, here I have two little rascals.
Okay.
I'm on the back porch and they're running around like crazy. But somebody said he's lazy. And listen, you're right when you say he's playing his way. And listen, frankly, I don't like to single out any one player, right? But this one is Casey Palmer. Casey Palmer, Bridget. He was a liability today, and if he had not played, we probably would have done this.
Yeah, well, I think he had some good, decent spells in the game, right? The shot he took, that was a brilliant save by the keeper, by the way. Yeah, some defense spells in the game. I am going to be balanced this evening, people. Well, I've taken this lot, maybe because I know we're going to the World Cup, so that's maybe I'm not really distraught.
Yeah.
I know we go to the World Cup, so I'm not distraught.
It come back to my point I was making the other day, that the quality of players is really sometimes more important than the coach. And you agree with that because you're saying
of course. That's why I'm not, you don't hear me a sweat and carry on, because
I'm not.
It's international football. I'm not. It's an all-star team.
Yeah,
football, international football is about all-star team. It's an all-star team.
Right. But this is very disappointing to say the least, because it's the first time in 17 years, I think, that we haven't advanced past this round.
Yeah, no, we need this coach to show us how poor he is, and he did that really well.
It's terrible. But these players can't be satisfied with themselves. Apart from Bobby Reed, Liam Bailey in the second game,
Bailey play once every 15, 20 games he plays well.
Yeah, I don't have much confidence in John Russell either. I
think John Russell has to play the 10. John Russell walks a lot too. Yes, and John Russell is not that. The midfield is not. The midfield needs work. Hayden is going to be fine.
Personnel.
Yeah. Hayden, Ravel, and somebody else in the midfield. I'm telling you. That double pivot where Hayden and Ravel don't feel pressure that much, and they get that 10 who can, like a Madasil, who can split defensive passes. But this coach don't have that vision. He has zero vision. Yeah. So, you know what? Yeah. I promised myself I wasn't going to go there tonight. I'm going to be just listen to the callers and take in the perspective and don't draw my own conclusions and not influence anyone.
So here's the one consolation, Frankie, right? This is not a World Cup qualifier. This is a Gold Cup tournament. Yeah. We are able, I'm glad we're faltering here, and we can see where we're at, and we can see what needs to be done. And anybody who is worth their salt can see, I'm talking about the coaching staff, anybody on the coaching staff can see that this team needs a lot of help as far as personnel-wise. We cannot go forward with some of these players. It's just, we can't
I can't complain. I can't fight that. I can't fight that.
We can't go forward with some of these players. And so I'm glad
Sorry about that.
I take a lot of comfort, Cranky, hearing you say almost every day that reinforcement coming.
Yeah,
I really take a lot of comfort.
Yeah, reinforcement is coming.
Because
let me not worry about it.
Because quality. Hey, you remember when Bill Clinton said the economy. You remember it was the third. I don't remember if it was the second term where he was running and they were said the economy.
Yep.
Well, for us, it's the quality.
Yes.
That's what we need, Cranky.
And I've been saying that from day one.
Yeah.
It's about the players. The players stepped up. Yeah, the coach not good, right? And we want to get rid of him because he's gonna. As I said numerous times to a lot of people, even people from the JFF, we're gonna get to the World Cup despite the coach, not because of the coach.
Right. But the players have to. I mean, come on, Casey. You cannot be the last man right there and go try.
Casey gotta go. Casey gotta go.
He should be ashamed of himself, man.
Yeah,
and then the penalty.
So that's two goals he gave up.
Yes, and I put in your comment section as well, that Jamaica has never been given a benefit of the doubt on these calls. It's always a clear bias against Jamaica. Anytime they take forever to make a decision, you know that you and I know that if it was Panama, right?
Yeah.
On the other side, they would have make a decision quick and that would have been a penalty. You know that. Even the pull down.
Well, here's the problem I had with the thing. VAR sent him to the thing. VAR looked at it for 5 minutes, sent it to him, and then he talked VAR out of it. Right? He talked VAR out of it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Here, the commentator, I don't know if you heard the commentator said that the information they received is that with the Warner Brown, they could not tell who touched the ball first.
Yeah, but
so that was
okay.
I don't know if you heard that.
No, I didn't hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, the comment.
When they touch the ball or not, it's still running with the man. Because you touch the ball doesn't mean you can't foul somebody. Right? Because you touch the ball doesn't mean you can't foul the person. He fouled him.
So and you see how long he took before you wave it off. It's like he was thinking about it. You realize that even after he finished looking at the monitor and he walked away from it, you saw how long it take before him wave it off.
I have no confidence in the officials in this region. Zero. They're not good. They're poor.
Not when it comes to Jamaica, especially.
Just poor period. They're poor period.
Yeah. But we always get the shitty end of these cards.
We do.
Especially when we have Central American referees.
Yeah.
You saw we had favorable calls the other day because of the black, and we need more black referees in this thing. We have too many of these referees.
You need more Caribbean referees, you're saying. Even though the one from Trinidad wasn't great. And the only thing he was great on not giving Tyree K-Roy a second yellow, even though he should not give him the first yellow. But yeah.
Frankie's a long time we're suffer with referees, referees decision against us. It's a long time we have been doing that from way back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I'm really tired of it. The bias is evident, And so Jamaica, we always have to win our game outright. We cannot depend on referee. Yeah,
but we still gave up 3 goals, right? We still gave up 3 goals.
Yeah, but even the pull down with Cephas,
That's a penalty. That's a penalty. Yeah, it's a penalty.
And if you won't call the one with Casey,
it's penalty. Yeah, you have to call it. Yeah. It's 2 penalties. Yeah, I agree.
This game could have gone a different way.
It could have.
Take up much more.
Yeah, man. You're right about the penalty. Cephas won, even though he put himself down, but it was by the player. The player pulled him back, so it has to be a penalty. I know how you don't get a penalty on that. Yeah, the referee is whatever.
Where is that referee from? Do you know? You know which?
Somebody say Honduras. I don't know. Somebody said Honduras. So.
Yeah, they don't like us. Trust me. They don't like us. The Hondurans, the Costa Ricans. Well, maybe the Costa Ricans are not too bad, but the Hondurans definitely don't like us. The El Salvadorians, the Guatemalans, they don't really like us, man. So you have those referees. Some have an inherent bias against us. Look how long you take to make a VAR decision. If you're taking that long to make a VAR decision, I would think you have to give the benefit of the doubt, right?
Yeah.
You have to give us the benefit of the doubt. But anyway, I'll leave and let somebody else call in, But very disappointed tournament, I told my wife this is going to be a summer of soccer for me. And now we're out of the tournament, so
Yeah.
I could have chat, Virgin. I'm a bad sportsman.
All right,
You
sir.
know?
All right.
Yeah, man. Respect.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good afternoon. This is the Cranky Live Show coming to you live from New York, where Jamaica just showed that they have a lot of work to get done. What do you have to say, caller, about who am I speaking to?
Cranky, how you doing?
Oh, a fellow misery carrier.
Yes. But
a fellow person who has the same misery as we are experiencing. Poor administration, poor coaching, poor playing, just poor. Go ahead, caller.
So, and I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad because I'm listening to the callers. I'm listening to yourself. And we seem to be blaming everything for what is happening in the football in the English-speaking Caribbean. I believe you would remember me warning against the fact that Jamaica has a very good chance to go to the World Cup. I think, and that it shouldn't be squandered because Jamaica have way more resources than Trinidad in this moment. I've said I'd like both to go, but I believe Jamaica has a better chance of going. We are now in a group where we're going to fight each other. I heard you saying that you're not bothered with this because you're going to the World Cup. And I thought about, is the house burning and Cranky is denying that the house is burning and refusing to call the fire company to out the fire? Cranky, the caller just said that he's not worried about this too much because it's the Gold Cup. We looked at the Copa America. We look at Nations League. We look at a lot of things, and it seems as though we're trying to build a house from the roof down. There is a systematic problem in the region with developing players. Caller said he feels so good that you say reinforcement incoming. That makes him feel good. But if the administration, if everything else behind the scene is not in sync and working in the same direction, I don't care who you bring. You can bring Vinicius Jr. All of those things need to fix, and you all need to call those things out because they are going to be disappointments. Because we have some of the same problems, and we patching and fixing and tinging, and you have to develop football from the grassroots down. And we know at least 8 years now. 8 years now, we know the World Cup is coming to North America. Just like we know the Club World Cup was coming since 2019. And nobody in the region did anything to try to get a piece of that $1 billion that's being shared out right at the moment. We're saying the referees don't like us. We're saying CONCACAF we're saying a lot of things as to why the result is what it is. And we are not looking internally, it seems. I think you need to take a look at that.
We have talked about ad nauseum, caller. Come on, caller. We talked about ad nauseum.
But tonight,
no. But I'm just saying, we're just gonna go over. There has to be. There's root cause, then there's symptom. Sometimes you have to attack the symptom because you can't fix the root cause. So the root cause in the Caribbean is the administrations. There's no doubt about that. Most of them are incompetent, or they overrate themselves and think they're smarter than they truly are. They just do.
Right. A
lot of them think they're smarter than truly are. They think they're brilliant, and they're not. They have worked in certain environment and operate in certain environment where they've been dominant. They are well recognized. They're known. But if you really assess them, and when you really, figure out when you deal with them and you assess them and you see how they operate and see what they produce, you walk away just like, okay, you don't know what good looks like. You just don't. You tell me these things and I listen to you and I laugh because I think I know what good looks like, and I know you don't know what good looks like because it's very obvious because you support certain things, you do certain things, and I just smile and basically just say, I can't fix it because you and I can't change the administration. So what do you do then? Right. You gotta go downstream because you can't. It's like trying to solve violence in the Caribbean, right? Murders in the Caribbean. So it's people who do the murders, but you can't really fix the people. So you try to stop the flow of guns because that's a symptom that creates the problem that you're trying to fix. So you can't fix the people who are firing the guns. Then you know what? Let me try to take the guns out of the population. Let me try to take the guns out of circulation. So then people can kill themselves less, frankly. Right? That's the same thing with the football. The parishes in Jamaica, I don't know about Trinidad, and the JPL and others who have the votes, vote certain people into power, and they're going to stay in power, and they know how to manage them, and they give them what they want so they can stay in power. It's a fact. We can't change that, and that will not change. And as we have been told previously, the JFF is a quasi-private or public organization. Fans just are fans, have no say. And when you have bad outcomes, the JFF don't fire themselves. The Trinidad Association don't fire themselves. They fire the coaches, even the ones who are doing well. They change players. The one thing that doesn't change is the administration. The biggest issue, and the one thing that doesn't change, so if you can't fix the root cause, you try to fix the symptom. You may go to the World Cup, but after the World Cup, you go back to what you were doing before. Because they win some World Cup money, it ain't changing much. Trust me. Same old, because they don't know how to do it.
Right. So you're saying you guys are different to Trinidad.
By the way, once again, people. Okay, I'm very good tonight. I'm very good. Everyone in the chat, please. It's 190 of you. It's only 64 likes. Could you please hit the like button? Go ahead, sir.
you needed to say
That's
that.
killing me. That's killing me. That's killing me. That's killing me. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. It's killing me.
So, whether you all want to take credit for it or not, you all have created a platform, several of you, and you've affect changes, right? In some regard, whether you want to take credit for it, you keep Jamaican football on the forefront and you keep pointing out stuff. I don't know if going away from pointing out the problem to now saying blaming the players, blaming the referees, blaming CONCACAF, blaming everybody else. Jamaica just lost 4-1 to a Panama team that have players in the MLS, in Panama, all over the place. I just heard somebody on another channel say that the players need to come from England, the championship or whatever, the JPL and MLS is at the bottom of the table. Hear what I'm saying? You just lost a Panama team that went to the World Cup, I believe, for the first time in 2018, I think it was, right? And they didn't get a point, I believe. Didn't get a point. You have your players playing in the English Premier League in this squad, and you lost 4-1. We cannot. It must be more than the players and the coaches and everything, and it has to be more than that. Because to win football matches, to have success, to put the country on a platform that would make people feel a sense of pride, everybody has to be on board, and the administrative piece of it is critical. It is critical part of it. Everything that happens on the field is a reflection of what's happening off the field.
Yeah, and look. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that, and but you can't change them, right? It's like when you have tonight. No, Trump is in power. People put him in power, and 6 months later they're fed up with him and they want to change it, but they can't change him. You got 3.5 years left, right? It's not in the Caribbean. It's even 10 times worse. Because here's what's happened. So whoever's in power now, so they have another 3 years left. Because they got elected, 2024? So they have 2 years left. When that 2 years almost up, they fix things a certain way, so only they can receive the votes to win. So the system is set up a certain way where only those in power, they can't get voted out the way they set it up. They buy the parish presidents in any way, shape, or form they want to get them, and they're going to vote for them along with the JPL teams. So they'll never be out of power. So you can't change that. So what do? And you're a fan and you love your football. You can say, you know what? We need better coach. We need better players. We need better. We can't change the outcome. We can't change it.
I don't know. I don't know for sure what is going on in your federation or in any federation. But I've seen FIFA use a tool that they have that put normalization committee in place when the place is not being run properly. So
but you know FIFA is incompetent. FIFA is incompetent. Somebody the other day was saying how when I was talking about conflicts and auditing conflicts about if I think I'm better than the FIFA auditors, you're disrespecting me. You are disrespecting. It's like the Jamaica auditors who go audit in Beverly Hills when the Prime Minister had his issue in-house and they go out and then the thing in front of them can't see. You're disrespecting me. If you're going to compare me to FIFA auditors and the auditors in Jamaica who go review those things, you're disrespecting me. You have no respect for my ability. You have no respect for what I do. You have no respect for who I am as a person, whether it's based on integrity or based on competence or based on technical ability. It's disrespectful. So FIFA, to me, it's just an organization which was corrupt previously. They have made some changes, but they ain't much better. Okay, if they came to Jamaica and make certain decisions, I just don't want to engage them and think about them. They don't know what they're doing. They're clueless. And normalization, normalization, whatever you want to call this nonsense, doesn't mean anything. It's the same people doing the same thing. They're going to get the votes. The Caribbean has 3/4 of the vote in CONCACAF, as you just alluded to. The Caribbean has no team in a $2 billion tournament, right? The Caribbean has no say in CONCACAF. 1 billion. Well, 1 billion, 1 billion, 2 billion, what the number is, a big number. The Caribbean has no say in CONCACAF or CONCACAF is run. And they have 3/4 of it. Because they have incompetent leaders. Most of the leaders in the Caribbean who are involved in the football are incompetent. They don't know what they're doing. They're divisive. They're not working together. They're not working. They don't coalesce. They don't engage each other. They're not trying to change things. They just go along with what the US, Mexico, and Canada want to do 24/7, and Latin America want to do 24/7. It's a joke. They should be running CONCACAF because they have the votes. There should be no senior position in CONCACAF where they don't have. Period. That's how life is. Majority rules. They don't have no power. And they want to come. That's why they run the football the way they do in the region. Because they're clueless. They're clueless. So we can fight and we can cuss and we can complain. We can't change it. Can't change it.
Well, there's a team called Oakland FC from Australia. Right? They just put that team together not too long ago. And they've now qualified. They're getting some of that money. Right. So I think the conversation, we have to become self-reliant. And I went against one of my self-imposed rules that I have is on night like these, I don't get involved. Right, because I know that it's emotive, people are emotional, and I just don't want to put myself in a space to be disrespected or anything because somebody's emotional. But what I'm saying to you is, I'm listening to the conversation, and I'm hearing us blaming everybody, and the real problem.
Yeah, but we can't keep going the same thing, right? We know where the problems reside throughout the entirety of the process.
Let me say this before I say this. We can't, you're saying that we can't keep going over the same thing. We have to double and triple and quadruple and multiply the noise. That's what you have to do to
it's
get
all
change.
noise because they look at us and laugh at us and say they can't change it. You can't vote me out, so you can't do anything.
How did Ravel get into the squad?
We did something. Well, we had a little bit of influence. Yes, I'll admit that. We had a little bit of influence to get him in the squad.
And you had a little bit of influence in a lot of other things as well. Right? Could you imagine what your life might have been like in America at the moment if Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and all these guys?
I'll be British. I'll be British.
They probably wouldn't have been any different. We can't think, and I wish that we had people in Trinidad that had the courage like you guys have. Right? I don't believe that the YouTubers, the few that exist, when you hear them talk, they're not digging into what's really taking place because you would have some information on some of it. They're just supporting what exists. You guys have gone against the grain. You've brought stuff up. You've fought. You can take credit, I believe, for the financial state of the JFF at the moment. I believe you can take some credit for it because you guys made a lot of noise, and to now reduce it to it's the referee. They don't like us in CONCACAF. Come on.
No, but there's
I just think when
but wait, hold on. There's a process, right? There's a process, and there's things along the way. If you look at the entire journey.
You hear me?
No, I can hear you. You can't hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're freezing. You're freezing up a little bit.
I'm freezing? People, am I freezing? Or is Andre's phone freezing? Because Andre lives in the bush, It's always your internet. Andrew lives in the bush, of you. The bush. So sometimes the trees block the signal. The trees block the signal. So he don't work well. These guys me. The people say it's not me. I'm fine. I'm in New York, by the way. We don't have signal problem in New York.
Yeah. I don't have to circle the block 20 times to find a parking spot.
We need information more than a parking spot. Okay? No, but look, you're right. But I didn't want to do the administration tonight. I want to focus on the bad decision the coach keep making. And they're so obvious I had to call them out. Because sometimes, okay, here's the thing, Andre, which you know, right? Let's think about any football team. Does the owners get fired or does the coach get fired?
The coach gets fired.
Right, but the owners are the ones who select the coach. Owners are the one who write the paycheck for the players. Look at Man U with the Glazers. Or look at Arsenal with the Cronkies until more the last 6-7 years when they made some change and Josh started running it versus Stan running it, right? You got to go. You can't change the head of the house. So you know what? You got to change some things below and hopefully it works. And the coach has been poor. The coach is poor.
Right, but do you think they changed at Arsenal because people said nothing, or they changed that because
they fired Wenger because it became toxic? It became toxic.
But the fans started to raise up.
That's what I'm saying. It became toxic. The fans, AFC, right. AFTV, and all of them were so toxic. The management felt the pressure. Just like at Man U, right. Fans fire people. Fans fire coaches in England, but they're not firing the owners. They fire coaches.
Right. Yeah, but they get the owners to change their behavior. I don't know if the last owner of Newcastle would say that. Why did he sell the club?
The JFF has to fire. The JFF to fire McClaren. The JFF to fire McClaren. There is no out here. The man is going to go right back to England. Right, he's going on vacation right now. They got to fire him. He's not good. He's poor. I can go point out, like I did on Saturday, a litany of transgressions that he has done, poor decision he has made, which suggests he's not the man for the job. He's a dinosaur. Sorry, he has to go. And if you don't go, I'm gonna come on every show and I'm gonna call it out every show that the JFS is incompetent. If they don't fire McClaren, he's got to go. Got to go.
So McClaren is the problem.
He's part of the problem. He's part of the problem.
Halgonson was the problem as well.
No, he's part of the solution. But he left.
No, but he left and you all beat him when he left.
Of course, no. We didn't really beat him. No, I beat him because I thought he lied about the Greenwood situation. I didn't beat him when he left. I beat the JFF when he left. But I thought he lied about the Greenwood situation. He basically says, oh, they made me say this. No. You wanted Greenwood. We know you wanted Greenwood. Stop it. When you get pressure, just leave it the pressure. Right? Don't punt off to somebody else. But no, we know the JFF is a problem. But we also know that the coach is a problem. He's not good enough. He's not good enough.
Why did, in your opinion, in 2 games in a row, or probably 3 games in a row, King was substituted at halftime? Why do you think that was?
That's a good question. I think he wasn't playing as well as the coach wanted. Defensively, not offensively. So it's easier to substitute King also. He doesn't have the stature in the team like some other players do. So the first substitution was bringing Lowe to the center half, which you would normally would have played. Because here's the thing, Andre, and you keep saying we talk about JFF. The coach went to a tournament with 2 midfielders, right? So King got sacrificed in that game with 2 midfielders, right? In this game, he got substituted because he has scored the man in the second goal to score. And what people don't realize that we look at sometimes people making tackles, King doesn't make the right decision defensively a lot of times. That whole sequence of play, Andre, first he hesitated, right? Go watch a play again. He hesitated first. And then when the man started coming forward towards him, he just whiffed. Instead of jockeying and push the man someplace, he just whiffed. The man faked the shot and he whiffed. And he scored the man the goal. And frankly, Blake should save it. The ball, Blake actually moved his foot from where the ball was. That's kind of hard to do, Andre. And you know, we love Andre Blake. The ball was kicking his foot and he actually moved his foot from where if he kept still, he saved the goal. But because he's a keeper, which is poor with his feet, he has to go down with his hand to try to save the ball. That's what transpired. So there's a litany of errors. If you go through all 4 goals, the first goal is a ricochet, but Warner Brown should be staying down, not jumping up, right? Staying down, not jumping up. But it's a ricochet. The second goal, King scored the man in, right? They had another chance. They could have scored because we marking poor. We get caught on free kicks. How did the third goal score? Tell me the third goal. The fourth goal we know gave away. The third goal I'm trying to recall, and I can't recall the third goal. It'll come back to me. But we had chances. We have more chances in this game than we have had for probably the entire tournament combined. We can go to the chances, right?
Right.
Russell could have scored. The one that he hit on the keeper, it wasn't the hardest goal to score. Brown should have scored. He had a sitter. Kind of hard to miss. And we got chances in this game. Palmer took a really good shot, but the keeper made a brilliant save. We had Cephas does what Cephas does. Being brainless, and you love him, so I'm going to beat you about that. He's brainless. He's brainless. You tell me he's not brainless. Like I hate to call out people. It's derogatory to call people brainless, but I'm sorry. He's got me to the point now where I you know what? I'm going to take it back, people. I apologize. He's not brainless. He just don't have any brain.
Hold on.
He ain't got no brain.
Look, let me say this. Presser is calling me biased. Presser is saying I'm biased. I'm not biased. I'm not defending this coach. I don't have any reason to defend this coach.
So okay. You explain. Okay, I'm gonna call you out. I'm calling him out, people. You explain Cephas the last two games. Please explain Cephas the last two games. Please, people. Please hit the like button. Please explain Cephas the last two games. Please. I'm gonna sit back, relax, and let you have the floor. It's all yours.
Cephas, I've said to you before that I think Cephas most of the times find himself in a situation where he's trying to prove he can do a lot with limited spaces. Could his decision, and I think it's affected decision making, could his decision making be better? It could be plenty better. But I think because he feels like he always got to prove something in a short space of time, I think it just makes the situation worse. So in the games that he started, like the games in the UK, right? We all saw that he influenced the game. He influenced the outcome of the game against Trinidad.
Yes.
He was good. People were happy about his performance. And I think that that was the case because he had time. He was feeling the love of the coach and whatever the case may be. I'm not saying he's the finished article. I'm not saying he makes the best decision all the time, but I think he's impacted by the fact that he always have a limited amount of time to try to change the world.
So can I say something?
Yeah.
So Andre came on here beating the YouTubers. They should call out the root cause of this problem. Don't skip over certain people. Stop beating the coach and the players. And then he got an opportunity to assess Cephas' performance, and he's going to talk around in circles about what Cephas lacks. So okay, let me tell you what to do. Call Cephas and bring him to the academy and see if we can change it. We can't fix it. We give up.
No.
Andre, the ball came to him of the ricochet from Dixon, right? And frankly, I think Tyree should play for Dixon, but Dixon didn't play badly. I don't think he played terrible. Good shot by Dixon, right? The ball came to him, Andre.
Yeah.
The keeper is out the goal.
No. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
That was a very, very good attempt by Dixon.
Oh, brilliant attempt.
To take the ball like he did and take it out to the air.
Yes.
That was great.
Brilliant shot too. Brilliant shot.
Yeah.
The ball came to Cephas. There's no keeper in the goal. There's some people on the line. Andre, you know it's very hard to miss that big thing in front of you, that wide open like that. It's hard to miss. Even if you kick the ball, you just kick the ball to it, Andre, and hope say go in and kick it hard and kick it to a certain spot, Andre. Because you're professional football, Andre. You can't kick the ball within a 3 feet radius, right? You must get under that. You know that hard. Why him do, Andre?
Yes.
Why him do, Andre?
Composure. He just swung at it.
Well, Andre, last game, you get up on the keeper, Andre. Why him do? You get up on the keeper. No, I'm just giving you some examples, Andre. Not a lot of them, just a few. It's a few. That's a few.
Yeah, what I would tell you. That Cephas is not the reason why Jamaica.
Here we go. He's part of the reason. He's part of the reason.
Everybody has to take blame from the top to the bottom.
Yes, no, we agree with that. But he's part of the reason.
Right.
He's part of the problem.
Yeah, but
and you solve it by benching his butt. That's what you do. You solve it.
Bench his butt.
Bench him. Bench him. Tyrese Campbell come from England, just finished taking his team to the championship and can get 2 minutes. And him better than two of them. Him better than Dixon, better than Cephas. Because both Cephas and Dixon are local, so we got to play them. That's the fact.
That's why you should have composed yourself and go to the press conference tonight.
No.
And ask the question.
No. Here's my question. What have you done to retain this job? You've been poor. Wait. And my question gonna have preface to it. You come to a tournament. We got knocked out of a tournament, which we can't remember when last we got knocked out of it under your stewardship. We struggle with the St. Vincent's of the world. We struggle with the BVIs of the world. You come to a tournament, you leave some of the midfielders out we've talked about, like Ravel. You only had 2 midfielders for this tournament, right? You had 9 forwards. You keep playing people who have lesser quality than others. It's not merit-based system. You keep trying to balance the team. Why should you have this job? You seem like you're a detriment versus an asset. That's why so I can't go to this. I cannot go. I'm trying to get into it with the JFF. I'm trying to get access to media passes. I can't do that and destroy my media access.
So what? So you're now.
I'm sure Jerry probably thinking, you know what? How we get rid of Cranky? How we get rid of Cranky? I'm telling you.
Yeah.
If I was the JFF, I get rid of me.
You spent 2 weeks in Jamaica.
Yes,
right?
yes. Very good weeks.
And now you're not willing to sacrifice.
And I've been co-opted. I've been co-opted.
So let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
It's less than 70 days, about 60 days to the next game.
Yeah.
You release the coach now. Who do you replace him with?
Anybody who can walk and talk at the same time.
Okay.
He's a detriment. Hey, Andre, I'm not joking, Andre. He's a detriment. He's not an asset.
But okay. But
okay. Solution.
Give me
Solution. Yeah. I've said this before, people. I don't have a name for you because, coach, that's not how we do this. People, I've said this. I said when you hire somebody, you have people line up after you hire that person. You have succession planning. That's what you do. You have 4 or 5 names of people who may have been in the last round or people you're considering who you can keep contact with and keep on engaging them. Don't do that the Knicks do, by the way. Trying to find a new coach. And I try to get people, I try to pry people from my organization. You do that. There are a lot of coaches on the jobs. Go get a Spanish coach. Go to Spain and talk to them. Go get a Spanish coach. We're tired of having the same recycled people come in our team. Don't know no strategy. We get Hallgrimson and we get McClaren. What has Hallgrimson and McClaren ever done that's innovative in football? Huh? All the good coaches come from Spain, people. All of them come from Spain. That's why all them English league. What has McClaren and Hallgrimson ever done innovative in football? Anything they've done that's being so special? Yes, Hallgrimson took Iceland to the last 16 playing low block football. Right? McClaren failed to take England to the World Cup, probably the first time and every time England ever failed to go to a World Cup. He won 1 title with FC 20. He's been a run-of-the-mill coach forever since then. He's not a good coach. He can't answer questions in press conferences. He can't manage nothing. He don't have no strategy. He has no innovation. He has no style of play. Come on.
So let me share something with you that I learned from that I heard Malcolm X said a long time ago.
Who said?
If you have a condition, Malcolm X.
Oh, Malcolm X. You go revolutionaries now. Okay.
No,
I did. So we have fight war. It's a football war. So go ahead. It's a football war.
No. Malcolm was an intellect.
Malcolm was I will say it before when he went to jail and he came back. But okay, keep going. Malcolm was a kind of Jamaican Ginal before he can go to jail and come back. Go on.
Malcolm said if you a condition that has the potential to explode, and it does explode, and you clean up after the explosion and leave the condition, you will have another explosion.
But I told you this, that the administration, we can't change them.
I'm just telling you. I find that to be very insightful.
No. Yeah, no. Look. It's the same thing, right? When you're an auditor, people, I'm going to give you an example. When we're auditing, we go do an audit. We go do an audit of a business or a function or a regulation. The first thing we ask ourselves is, You keep asking yourself why until you can't ask yourself why anymore. So, why did Jamaica lose? The keeper made some mistake. Why did the keeper make mistake? XYZ. Why XYZ? You keep asking yourself why. When you can't ask yourself why anymore, then you find the root cause. Right? So why the coach feel? Why the players feel? Why we don't have facilities? You can roll that back into one key thing, which is those who are in position of power making decisions. Right? So if you ask yourself why, and if you ask yourself why the right way, you'll get to the root cause of the problem. Just like how you do with crime or poor people or whatever it is you want to use. And then you say, okay, can I truly fix the problem? Or do I have to fix the symptom? Which is one of the things that focus. So instead of fixing the administration, can I fix the goalkeeper? Can I fix the coach? Can I fix the forward? Because I can't change the administration, and even though it's a root cause. So yes, it's going to reoccur, but you hope when it reoccur, it may be lessened because at least the components that informs that have been addressed. We can't change the administration. So let's try to fix things that we can fix. We can fix the coach by firing him.
I think you can fix. I think you could continue to influence things. I just think that blaming the referees, blaming CONCACAF, blaming the Spanish, blaming all who that we were blaming earlier. I just think we need to redirect that conversation.
We lost to Guatemala, people. That was the tournament. We lost to Guatemala. You can't afford to lose to Guatemala. That was the tournament. They played us with 9 of their players out or 7 out. And then when they played our full team, we weren't in the game. We went to the game ill-prepared because the coach went with no midfield. And the midfield was wide open. And anybody can see that don't understand football or know football. Midfield was wide open for the whole tournament, most of this tournament. We said we've taught for Ravel. They keep telling me that Ravel doesn't have this muscle mass. Ravel doesn't have this. And I said, even when he was on the beach, when he's on the beach with his big belly and he's drinking red, what do people drink? Rum punch or rum, whatever they drink. And Guineas, in better than your midfield them combined. Period. So don't give me that nonsense about what Ravel don't have or Ravel have. Talking nonsense. Better than all the midfielders.
So one of the things that I always hear coaches, and I hear it maybe only from coaches in the Caribbean, that they
do what? I didn't hear you.
Have enough time with the play.
It's international football. You ain't getting no time with nobody.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you the question. They say it in the Caribbean a lot. I hear all the coaches say it, not all, but a lot of them say we didn't have enough time to get our ideas over to the players or whatever vacation. But everybody in the world, every coach in the world is coaching.
You know what answer that? You don't have enough brain.
Hold on. But actually, if you now we take comfort in you say that reinforcement is coming. Is it?
You're breaking up. You're breaking up. The bush. I think the bush is waving so it's blocking the signal. The bush is waving. You're breaking up.
Can you?
The good thing that we have that Trinidad don't have, we have reinforcement. Trinidad got no reinforcement. Poor Trinidad. Them laws kill them. Them laws kill. Unless you change the laws. And it's not okay to change the laws just to go to one World Cup. You should keep your laws in place. Don't change your laws. Don't do like Turkey. Don't do like Turkey. I try to buy people. Like Turkey. Buy people. We have to change it. We have to change the administration. We have to change the administration. I'm sorry. We have to change the administration. At some point, it can't be the same. The administration is part of the problem because they are not receptive to doing things which are right. Right? They're not receptive to doing things which are right. What do I mean by that? The whole quota thing, for example. Recruiting young players, grooming the young players. International football to me is an R-star team. It's like Real Madrid. That's why I think international football. You won't get enough time. You got to put the pieces together. You got to organize, put them together real quickly, have them have some system you're playing. If you like Spain, you can play some system because they grew up through the system in the first place. The philosophy of Spain is the same. So you're going to learn to play a certain way. Jamaica doesn't have that. And plus, we bring in international footballers. That's what we are. Right? So you bring them in, you put a structure around them, and you let them go play. That's what we're going to do for the World Cup qualifiers.
But remember, you cannot build a house from the roof down. Eh? You got to build a house from the ground up.
That's all right. We're not building no house. We're bringing players. We're not building no house. When the manager don't work for me. How people? When I'm being a host, when I'm buying a van, we're bringing in players. That's all we're doing. We're not building a host. The manager don't work for me. We're bringing in players, quality players. You know, people. When I bring no League One, when I bring no League Two, when I bring no, we're bringing quality. We're bringing quality.
But you do have quality players. But
we have some quality, but we need more. We need better quality. We need better quality. We need better quality. It's a fact.
Look, there's nothing wrong with having better quality. I don't know. There must be a reason. You were just having a conversation. You all were having conversation about Leon, for example, and his performance tonight. He was very good in the last game. I haven't really quantified his performance tonight. I didn't really watch it that close. But he was really good in the last game, right? And I think he was good, not because he hit the upright and he scored a goal or whatever. I think one of the things that he did that contributed to his performance was he was tracking back and he was helping the outside back and those little things that help a team be better, right? He was doing a lot of that in the last game. But tonight, we're talking about his performance or lack of performance. We are saying Casey Palmer is not good enough. We are saying, look, we have players that is really, really good in the English league and end up getting relegated. There's 3 teams that got relegated last season or this season that just passed, and there's 3 that's going to get relegated next season, and they have very good players in them. Right? So why it is this group of players cannot perform consistently?
So,
I don't think.
No. I mean, if you look at the team tonight, and Bobby Reed came in and looked very good, by the way. I mean, obviously he came in when the other team was probably tired, but he came in and he looked assured and he looked like a captain. Right? You see him out there taking responsibility, providing direction, playing with as if, you know what, this matters. Lati did the same thing. Right? There's certain players you can call out to say, you know what, they're differentiators. Now, some of them probably won't start in my new team that I'm building, but they're differentiators.
Hold on. You're building a new team.
I'm building a new team. Yeah. I want to bring in 5 players, but I may only be able to bring in 3, 4. And some of the players, them, may be out of position, but I'm creating space so they can play. It's all about quality. We're not in the quantity business. It's all about quality. So I want to bring in 5. I may only bring in 4. And if I bring in all 5, all of them have to start. In a bench thing. This balanced nonsense has to go. This balanced nonsense has to go.
Trap. Huh? So a trap have been set, right? And you probably won't see it this way, but I want you to consider it. And I think you probably...
You're breaking up again. Living in the bush is not a good thing. So press conference starts. I didn't get anything. Wait, hold up. Hold up. Let me see something. I don't see anything for the press conference. Maybe I wasn't. Was I? Okay.
You got to play the press conference.
No, I think it finished already. I think it finished. I see something here. What happened? It says 13 minutes, but it's not playing.
13 minutes. That means no questions were asked tonight.
Yeah, it says 13 minutes, 10:07, 10:20. Yeah, it finished already, but I'm playing it, but it's not playing. I don't know why it's not playing. Maybe because you're on. Yeah, it's not playing. Maybe because you're on Andre. Let me call you back, Andre. Let me just see something. Let me call you back.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, it's a press conference. Let me hear
Welcome to the post-match press conference between Panama and Jamaica in the 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup. We're joined with the head coach of the Jamaica senior men's national team, Coach Steve McClaren. I remind you that for questions, you can raise your hand and introduce yourself with your name and media.
People, I didn't see anything that dropped here to say the press conference was on. I didn't get anything in my thing. There's a media group. I didn't get anything to tell me it was on, so I didn't know it was on actually. As even though I said I wasn't going, I probably would have get perturbed and gone. So I don't know.
The organization that you represent. The media that are present virtually can request their space by touching the raise hand icon. We can now open the floor for questions.
What is he saying?
Yeah, this has been, despite the results and everything. This has been just what we needed to see.
All right, so please excuse me, people. I'm just trying to digest this. That's what we need to see. Okay, all right, keep going.
It's a wake-up call. People who think they're comfortable in this squad, we've all had a wake-up call of what we can do and what we can't do. And it's been, I said at the beginning of the month when we started on the 24th in the UK, in London, and I said, what we're going to do is we're going to learn so much about the players, so much about the character, so much about the commitment that is required. What? To do well, one, in this tournament, and two, which we're aiming for, is qualify for the World Cup. We've got 6 of the biggest games of our lives ahead of us. And this has been, there's failures, but you always learn lessons from it. I've learned so many in the 4 weeks that we've had with the squad. And we've had a lot of players through, a lot of senior players, a lot of young players, established players, players just coming in. And, I can see the difference from the beginning with the unity through to the World Cup qualifiers. I think in the unity, we played against excellent teams and did well. We're structured, we're disciplined, we did our jobs. We fought like Trojans. We had a wake-up call again against the BVI. Responded well against Guatemala at home in what was probably a great performance, but we've had no consistency, and that will not get us to the World Cup. Consistency is key. Know what you're going to get, and we've not had that. We've not had that game to game. We've not had that in periods of the game. And you can talk about systems, and it's 4-3-3, it's 5-3-2, it's 3-4-3. Football is not about systems, it's about individuals, it's about character, attitude, working hard, being disciplined, knowing your job, doing your job. And in these 3 games, it's been a wake-up call for every one of us. And I know, in the end, it hurts now, and it's disappointing now. We've let a lot of people down in Jamaica, who've great supporters. We've let them down, but this is a lesson which we probably needed. And we've talked about World Cup qualifiers, and we've talked about tournaments, we've talked about every game, and don't live with regret. And at the moment, we're living with regret for what we've done in this tournament, which is not good enough, individually, collectively. And the message is, in September, when we gather again, no one's guaranteed a spot in this squad. Nobody. That's what I've said to them. They've got to show it from now until September within their clubs, and then they've got to commit. And when they join, they've got to do it again. We've seen the good side, we've seen the bad side. I don't like the bad side. I don't like it, can't tolerate it. I'm not going to the World Cup with that. We're not doing well in this tournament because of that. We had spells today, we didn't defend, and defending is not about systems, it's about collective. It's about discipline. It's about knowing your set plays. It's about knowing I'm near the penalty spot, so I don't do that. It's making mistakes like that that's going to cost us, and it has done. We live with that regret over the 3 games, but I'm telling you, it might be a blessing in disguise, because we know, and the dressing room knows, we're not as good as we think we are. And we have to do certain things to win football matches. And talent is not enough. Talent is nothing without hard work. And that was the message. the message all tournament. There was a message from unity, which we had, a message from Guatemala in the second game. But the inconsistencies will not get us to the World Cup. So I'm down, disappointed. You know what? I think in the long run, I'm experienced enough to know. Yeah. Once the pain goes and the regret goes, I know which way to go forward. And I know who to go forward with. And so at the present moment, nobody's guaranteed. And I have to show from now until September what it is that's going to get us to the World Cup.
Yeah, so what are some key factors that happen in this game?
Yeah, it's the same as all games. It's mistakes, discipline, doing your job. One of the key areas, set plays. We knew the edge of the box was always going to be dangerous. We saw that against Guadeloupe. And, people are out of position. So we're already one down after 5 minutes. And then a soft penalty, which should be conceded. People are going nowhere. They're 2-0 down after 20 minutes. And despite us changing, it just woke us up. And no matter what, we showed a little bit of fight. We had opportunities, chances. And, the key games, the overall picture is what I've just described. Individual cases is just within games, what we're lacking and what will not get us to the World Cup. But I do think the defining moment of this game was the penalty. It was too long. It looked absolutely blatant to me. And at 3-2, I'd like to see the reaction of our team. They still reacted after 3-1. We had chances, hit the post, great opportunities, one-on-one, clean through. And that's been our problem. We've not defended very well. We've conceded 6 goals. My priority is defending. We could not defend. We could not defend the long ball. We could not defend the crosses. We could not defend it. We've conceded 6 goals in 3 games. That's can't win anything with that. And we've had chances to score, only 3. And the amount of chances we create. So we know where we're going. We know what we need to do. I hope it hurts in there because it hurts in here. And it must hurt in Jamaica. It must hurt the people because we wanted to do well in this tournament. But it maybe says we're not as good as we think we are. And that's the message to the players, that everybody thinks Jamaica is this. Everybody talks about talent. Everybody talks about that. But the one thing I remember from this game is Thomas Christiansen saying that we have the better players, but he has the better team. The team will win, not individuals. That's why Panama have done so well, because that's what they do. And we need to follow suit, and we need to find players who will play for Jamaica, who will play for the team, and not as individuals.
Coach Dario Graham, Jeff Live. Obviously, I've been following the team for the past month and a half now since we started right before Unity Cup. So for the next 2 months, what will be a part of your evaluation of talent, whether it's on the team currently and incoming, as you speak of, that will help shape your mindset for World Cup qualifiers?
Yeah, look, we had injuries. We lost Mason Holgate, who's a big character. We lost Damien Lowe, who, has got experience. He's a big character. We lost, the biggest one was Isaac Hayden. We lost our glue in the midfield. And, we'll hope that they get fit and stay fit and come back. I want to see a reaction from the players and their clubs on what they do. They've come off a hard season. And, physically, yeah, we didn't look right. But, you know, the thing that I liked was, when you've been with us, the Unity Cup, the camaraderie, the work rate, the discipline, people doing the job, and not as experienced or got the talent that we have available. But talent is nothing unless your talent works hard. I think that's the lesson for the 3 games. That it's not about talent. You know, Thomas said, you know, we've got the better individual players, but they've got the better team. I think today they did that. I think, you know, Guatemala reacted and, you know, made it very hard for us. And Guadeloupe were the same. So disappointing 3 games, a bad tournament for us. But as I say, I think what has happened is a wake-up call, and going to be a great message for what's really important, World Cup qualification.
Thank you, Coach.
Take one more question from Shane.
Shane Malcolm, 41 Mac. Coach, you mentioned consistency in the squad has been a weakness. There hasn't been consistency in the squad selection since seeing the difference in Unity Cup squad to World Cup qualification squad. Do you think you've identified the players or the group of players that will end up taking Jamaica to the World Cup?
Absolutely. We needed these 4 weeks to look at some young players coming in and give them an opportunity. To also give an opportunity to, you know, the others who have coming in. So we've had a lot of changes. I think injuries have also played a part in that. But I wanted to give everybody an opportunity in the last 4 weeks. And Unity, World Cup qualifiers, and 3 games here to have a really, really close look and go, who's gonna take us forward in these World Cup qualifiers? There's no easy games in that. Trinidad are coming, getting stronger. Curacao getting strong. And we know BVI, you know, you play Bermuda. It's not going to be easy. So we need fight. We need characters. And if talent can fight, do the work and be disciplined, they will be in the team. So, yeah, that's my job now for the next 2 months, is to get around, look at some, also talking to players, also about recruitment as well, which we've been working on fiercely. And, you know, you've seen already some of the talent, young talent that we've got in that's there for the future, but might be there for now as well.
Would like to
That was the coach with the good night. Hello.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Good night. Do you hear me, Cranky?
I can hear. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Gavin, Cranky.
Davin, how are you doing? What you got to say?
I'm not doing well at all, Cranky.
You're not doing well?
I'm not doing well. No.
Why are you not doing
I'm
well?
not doing well. My team just lost. My team just lost, and I was expecting the loss, but the manner in which we lost is just very disheartening.
So why don't you just pick up the positive from the loss?
Okay, the positives that I can take out of the game, as you had said earlier in your commentary, is that in the beginning of the game, we would have seen, in this game overall, I think it's the first game we played since the Gold Cup where we've created as many chances that we have. So that is some positives to identify or to take note out of all of this. And all our players weren't all available. So that's some positive to take out. That's the only positive that I see coming from the game.
Okay.
But outside of that, Cranky, I think all of what he said is just BS, to be frank. BS. Total BS. And here why I say it's BS. I like the fact that he's upset, because he should be. But at the same time, I don't like it. I don't like it from the perspective that it makes no sense to me. It doesn't seem to be, we say, no, it doesn't seem to be organic. What do I mean? Meaning, you come out swinging, saying that, going forward, no player is guaranteed. No player is guaranteed a position in the team, and they'll have to start proving themselves come
Right.
September, so on and so forth. But Cranky, if we look at the situation, again, I'm not gonna beat Dixon because Dixon, I think Dixon had an okay game and he almost scored and so on. But for the life of me, I just simply cannot reconcile the fact that we have a player who is playing in the academy, right? And then you have another player for the same team. He's playing in the first team. And the one who's playing in the first team cannot for the life of him get 5 minutes. And then furthermore, in the game.
Wait. By the way, they play similar. They play similar position. By the way, that's very important.
Oh, thank you for that. Makes it even worse. But outside of that, Cranky, in the midst of everything that he just said, there's one important thing that I think someone even in the comment section mentioned. At no point in this press conference, 13 minutes, 10 seconds, or however long it was, did you hear him taking any accountability for what happened? At any point did you hear him take any accountability?
He never does.
But that's the whole point. That's what I'm saying. I like the fact that he's upset, but at the same time, I don't think he's genuine, because you're telling me it's not about system, it's about players, it's about this, it's about that. Where in the midst of all of this do you take personal responsibility for the chaos that is earlier this season? Where exactly do you take it? When you have players walking up and down on the pitch, not defending or giving subpar performances, Cephas is like a chicken without head. I don't know, where does he take responsibility for any of this? And that is one of my things. And currently, one thing I can say that I learned tonight from, I'm always calling for King, because I think he's a really good footballer. But one thing tonight showed me that there are levels to this thing, and he's not ready. He's not ready.
Yeah, he's a good player with the ball. He's not a good defender.
But we don't think he's not good. But that's the point. But that's the thing, Cranky. You need to be good both ways. You need to be good both ways.
Yeah. He's not a good defender.
Otherwise,
It's a former coach of the national team didn't respect his defensive skills. That's why he wasn't getting game time. But there are some people who think he didn't get game time because of something else. And I confirmed that this evening. He wasn't getting game time because the coach didn't respect his both man-to-man and zonal, just his defensive ability, period. But he's a good footballer with the ball at his feet.
No, I agree. And I think that's one of the things that kind of got me fooled. But tonight I just come to realize that he's not quite ready. He's not quite ready. I'm hoping that the move to Scotland will doing some good. I don't hear.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, man, go ahead.
I think what people don't realize is that there are two instances where King got shown up really bad in two games. The first St. Vincent game, where he made a mess, he got turned all the way around, and the kid didn't score. And tonight game, where he hesitated initially, so put himself in no man's land, and the man just walked by him. Blake should have probably saved it anyway, but he just, that was really bad, actually. Really bad.
You know, Cranky, I'm not gonna really blame Andre too bad, because every game we expect him to put in an 8.5 performance. There are gonna be games where he needs a team. He needs a team to help him out. He's always the one helping out the team. And I think when you constantly have to be the one that putting in those kind of performance, sooner or later the law of averages is gonna come down to the point where you're not gonna have one of those very good games.
Yeah.
But with this coach, Cranky, I'm telling you, I don't buy any of what he's saying, because the reality, all right, for example, Cranky, I'm not gonna spend much time, but two more things. So for example, one, right? You start the game. When you start the game, you see we were totally lost for the first 15 or 20 minutes, right? Blake went down strategically. Blake went down strategically to give the team some breather. They changed to a trade back system. All of a sudden, we scored in no time. So it tells me that you weren't prepared. And furthermore, you're saying that based on the poor performance of the team today and so on and so forth, you are disappointed and no one is guaranteed any playing time come September. But Cranky, you and I could tell these things based on how a number of the players were playing. You brought two natural midfielders to in the squad. Mali Malasid was there and you didn't pick him. Instead, you pick a bagger centre forward, and some of them you don't even end up using. What's the sense in carrying four centre forward if you're only gonna use two at a time for the most part? It makes no sense. So that's why I'm saying I don't buy any of what he's saying. I don't buy it because if you're not, and you keep on telling us that there's no easy game in CONCACAF. We know that. Stop telling us that. We know that. The mere fact that you didn't know that it's just an indication to your ineptitude. Because if you were prepared in coming to the region, you would have known that there are no easy games. The whole thing is just very frustrating.
Yeah.
This man is just really not ready for the region. He's not ready, and I don't buy any of his anger, any of his rant just now to say, well, then, okay, players aren't guaranteed any position come September. Because if you weren't, because remember, this is the only coach for England who failed to qualify England for Euro. This is the only coach. Yeah. So I don't know what it is that we're doing. We're doing. It makes no sense. Absolutely none.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Actually, it's embarrassing. But I'm glad he believes that's on the prayers. The players should be. I would have asked him if he think he should be retaining his position. That would have been my question. What have you done to retain your position as head coach, given some of the tactical and strategical blunders you have made since assuming the role of head coach for the Jamaican national team? That would have been my question. It wouldn't have been a long-winded question because I don't think he should be the coach. So,
for the life of me, I can't understand why we can't have better questions we ask in press conferences.
Well, I think you hear when the guy said that he's been with the team, so he's not going to ask difficult questions. He's part of the JFF Live. And most of the people who are there are not from Jamaica, so they're going to ask the normal questions you ask in those environments, right? We would be more intrusive and more damning with our questions. So, yeah. All right. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. I'll take another one. All right. Good evening. Welcome to the Cranky Live Show, where we celebrate our coaches and their wonderful ability to get 4-1. Who is the one speaking to?
This is Sheldon calling back, Cranky.
Oh, yes, it's Sheldon.
Yeah, calling the other.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard you play the press conference a while ago.
Yeah.
And when I was listening, all the coach been talking about, it's about people disappointing and whatever. The coach disappoint the people from him select the team. We get knocked out of the tournament from the team was selected. Why the coach select a team? Or the coach gonna select a team and he gonna select 3 goalkeepers. Secondly, he gonna select Mikel Antonio. Like, it's a sympathy thing in my couple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're supposed to pick a fully competitive team where players competing for position. You understand? Some players are on the field, they're doing whatever they feel like. Imagine the guy lose the ball, right? The guy lose the ball and before him track back, try run back hard to see if he can win back the ball. Delay the play in the car, kick off the ball.
Yeah.
And the ball cut shade. And I saw the Panamanian forward get the ball and he went and scored. If he did just react same time, right? And run back hard, he have a chance to drop the ball and score. To show you.
Yeah, I think the coach was sending a message to certain players in the team when he made his comment about nobody's game is secured and giving away a penalty. I think he's basically sending a message to certain player. But the only person he's not sending a message to that he should is himself.
Exactly. There's no way why. First thing, he shouldn't care. We sorry that Mikel Antonio had meeting in a dilemma and whatever. have a little catastrophe or whatever. And, you know, we send sympathy to him and things. But there's no way him should have put. Get ready. In the summer, get ready for the Premier League or wherever I'm going to play. If West Ham are going to renew him contract or whatever. He's supposed to go here himself. Play a new challenge next season. They have a player to come play in our tournament, to come get fit in our tournament by playing a tournament. Them things don't work.
Yep. I would agree.
You get what I'm saying? And then you go pick a lot of local players. You go pick 3 or 4 local players in the team. And you know they one say you're not gonna use them. The only way the only reason why him using Atkinson is because whosoever tell him to play Atkinson want Atkinson to play so somebody can see Atkinson and give him a contract.
Yeah. That was embarrassing actually.
It was really, really embarrassing.
Yeah,
Even the
embarrassing.
cranky, even the commentator mentioned, people Lalos. See, he's a U.S. national player, World Cup, U.S. representative, playing the World Cup. And he's saying, Jamaica team, they have to do very well to come back to regain back the name, Reggae Boyz. The man said this Jamaica team is nothing near where he used to play against Jamaica. He said he's very disappointed in the Jamaica team. That is what he said.
Right.
Right? There's a lot of disappointment in the selection of the Jamaica. Jamaica have the privilege can select 70 or 80 players. Easy, and pick from that pool. A lot of countries don't have that privilege.
Nope.
Right now. We have players right now playing all over the world. Right. What's the name of the guy who used to play for Tivoli? Used to play for JC and him got Tivoli. What's his name again? In the Arab Emirates now play.
Okay.
Ravel played the same league, but in the higher league than Ravel.
Okay.
I
don't know.
The name in Mama, I don't remember his name.
He's about Flemmer.
Fleming, yes.
But he was in France at one point, wasn't he? I didn't know he's in.
Yeah. Flemmer not doing bad right now. If it's even those youth they can call, they're willing to put out the art for the team. These guys that he's picking, they're not pulling out the stops. They're not playing like they want to give the all for Jamaica. You understand? And the man keep starting the same players every time already. They're not playing like they want to play.
Yeah.
I can't see what's your decision? What would you do? Would you like say that everybody to come together, press the JFF, to give them a decision if they're gonna keep the coach, yes or no?
JFF is gonna do what JFF want to do. They don't care what we say. They don't care what we say. They're gonna do what they want to do. But I said it on Saturday. I would have fired the coach. I would have fired the coach not because we lost in this tournament. I fired the coach because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, but then again, the coach have Gray. Gray not defending. None at all. Gray don't defend. And
Gray don't defend. Palmer is a poor defender. There's a bunch of stuff that we're missing in this team. But at least when Gray has the ball, he can use it really well. But at the end of the day, there's a bunch of different. Bailey had one good game this entire tournament. And that's his story of his career with Jamaica. There's so many. Russell scores goals, but doesn't. There's so many deficiencies. It's crazy. So many.
Because the coach not balancing the team, and the coach not training the players to have responsibility. The players not playing to their responsibility. Even the keeper, even as well as he's doing, he's slacking up. But you know why these things happen into Jamaica? Is because of politics. The politics that is in the football and reaction. You have to be proactive instead of reactive.
Well, my hope, here's what my hope. My hope is that keep going. I'll say my hope later. Yeah, man.
The thing about the team, most of the time, is Jamaica is being reactive, not right?
Yeah.
Going forward, Jamaica go forward with the ball too slow. The defense is playing so far away from the field. when the midfield do get the ball, they spin and they turn. They take 5 million minutes before they make a pass, before the player latch on to them. The movement of the ball is so slow. They stopping the ball every minute before they make the ball roll and do the work. Look at the Panamanians. The Panamanians don't have the skill that the Jamaicans have. But what they do, they play super. They move the ball quick and lock the spaces, try to find the half spaces and utilize it and score. But when the Jamaica come forward as a team, they can score. It proves that Jamaica can score a goal when they play as a team. But most of the players, they want to do it individually. And that's not going to work. Yeah, what's the point I was making earlier?
I forgot, I get old. It probably wasn't important anyway.
Yeah. But what I'm saying right, you watched the game with Canada and Curacao?
No, I didn't watch that game, but I heard Curacao played well.
All right. But Jamaica licking their finger and they say soup, World Cup soup. And to me, I don't see no easy game in that group because everybody got and trying to find Jamaica. There's so much for improvement in the Jamaica team. I think they're going to want to keep the coach anyway because the disappointment is not all on the coach. I think the coach has been advised to make certain decisions and it fall right back on the coach. But it's not only the coach. JFF have something to do with it. I think they have something to do with the team. And that's going to cause a problem. Because there's so much players playing all over the world that Jamaica can call. What to the guy named Campbell?
Nothing. He's there.
Not this one in the present squad. The one that used to play left wing.
Oh, I don't know. He has been called.
And that guy used to have some good game for Jamaica, but since this coach get the team, I don't see him call him up or anything.
He played okay on the Hoggums. He was okay. He's not. Those players you guys talking about are not the solution. We're going to do better than those players. I'm not worried about World Cup qualification. I've been saying that from day one. People not listening to me. I'm not worried about World Cup qualification.
Yeah, but I think all players that out, they can come in and do a good job. But at the same time, if they don't fix the problem, they're gonna come in and look just the same as the present players that we have right now.
All right, so I hear you. Come on.
Yeah, and I appreciate the program once again, and I want to say keep up the good work. And you have WhatsApp.
Yeah, man. You know WhatsApp number you call me, pa?
No, man, I straight me call him, man.
No, man, I WhatsApp you call me, man.
Oh, WhatsApp this number on?
Yeah.
Oh, just call it from
well, you may even call me straight, but it's a WhatsApp. It's on WhatsApp. Yeah, it's a WhatsApp.
Oh,
so the number I put up on the screen is when people call me, it's supposed to be WhatsApp. So if you're coming from the States, then it probably comes straight sometime. But yeah,
because this is my state number. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Well, Cranky, bless up yourself. I'm gonna give somebody else a chance to call in.
Yeah, man. Bless up.
I appreciate the program once again. Yeah, brother.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. Bless up. Let me say something, people. This, which is it's difficult when you lose and when you expect to win and because we came to this tournament very optimistic off the back of the convincing victory against Guatemala. Right? We know we had some problems. When I saw the 23 that were selected, whatever the number was, 26 that were selected, I was flabbergasted that we had, as I've said numerous times, basically two midfielders. Hayden was going to be there, Bobby was going to be there, and Biziak is not a midfielder. That to me alone is a fireable offense. Seriously. Fireable offense. No coach who wrote their salt. No coach who worked their salt. No coach who worked their salt would go to a tournament where the part of the field where you run the most is your midfield. So you probably need more player there than any other position and you go there short, significantly short. Right? That makes absolutely zero sense to me. Apart from that, we have all this back and forth about which player should be in what team and how we should have balanced team. Those of you who believe that a King and a Busy Atkinson should be automatic selections in the Jamaican national team, you are fooling yourself. I want those kids to do well. I want them to maximize their potential. But as I keep saying a lot of times, there's levels to this game. And if you watch Busy play in the 10 position, which is not a 10, he's a winger, he was totally lost, right? If you watch King play and defend, it doesn't defend. You got to turn your radar down. Whoever this is, you got to turn your radar down. Oh, your thing down.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night, Cranky.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah, man. We in this calling from Canada.
How you doing, man?
You know that you're saying what I want to say about all the side select. But anyway, I am one of the only Jamaican that really happy tonight that we lose. You know why?
You're not the only one. You're not the only one. You're not the only one. I have somebody blow up my phone from earlier today, say he hope we lose by, and he gave me a score. He said 4-0.
Let me tell you something. I was involved in football in Jamaica, right? I was a president for a football club in Jamaica. Helped carry that club to Major League. So I know the politics run in Jamaica. I know how the politics run. But I can say this to you, Cranky. This coach has to take this beating. Because why? If we win tonight, this will continue. You cannot have the national team to sell players. Right? This coach come to us with a lot of experience, Canto. And Canto, Mr. Steve, he well recommended. And you can tell me, Cranky, all of the team in the region trying to get players. Right? All of the team in the region, even US don't have a better league than us. And US using players from abroad, not the MLS. And for God's sake, why we trying to push our local players, right, that are developed in the national team to compete against professionals? Tell me if that makes sense, Cranky.
Well, let me also say something, people, because the people who have been talking about players not being there are also beating diaspora players. And I want everybody to say, all you guys doing is beating local players. They're also beating Palmer, for example, right? So diaspora players get beaten just like how local players get beaten. It may seem a little bit unbalanced because balance is a problem. So
Cranky, come on, Cranky. Cranky, you are a professional when you usually do your job, right? And you get a company give you a job as an accountant, and do not give you the tool to do your job. You're gonna walk. Do not give you the reputation to live by, and your reputation is your resume.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
You understand me, Cranky?
Yeah.
So tell me something now. As a big man, Mr. Steve McClaren, whatever his name is, a big man and a professional kind of team. And you choose two midfielders. Remember, you said it earlier. The midfield is where the heart of the game plays. Your midfield tell you how you're going to play. The midfield, Cranky, remember, bear with me, little. The defense station, they have a zone. The forward and the winger, more like the station, they have a zone. The midfield is the only person that can go up and down. And you only choose two of them. Secondly, that is really my complaint. My complaint, Cranky, JD talk it a lot. As I listen to you and I listen to JD, because you and JD really teach a lot about football towards what's going on here. Oh, man like, all right, look at it this way, Frank. We have players on the way going up. These players isn't professional because they're not playing a professional league. They do it to the under 20 and we shame, embarrass. you're gonna use it. You're gonna pick 16 players and 20. You pick a 60-man squad, and you pick 20 professional players and 40 player from our 25 player from the local league. What you're saying?
And then people like Ravel are not in the list.
Ravel, Jesus Christ, Cranky, looking, Cranky, this is common sense. How can you select? You cannot use the national team to develop players. Your job is not that. If you want, what you should do as a professional, you come to the JSF, and if they put something to him like quota system, and he said, no, he cannot work like this.
No, I was told his contract allows him to pick his own team.
All right, but what he's doing the opposite, because what he should do, recommend to the JFF to choose an under 21 team and use the local player, mix with some diaspora player. But you cannot use the national team, develop player, a give player, a boss or whatever you call it. You cannot use the national team to do that. You're going to be embarrassed. For example, US going to embarrass us, Canada going to embarrass us. If even Mexico, imagine it was Mexico we're playing today.
Panama has done well against everybody in the region nowadays.
All right.
They've done well.
Look on King. King show people now. King show people now. King show people that he's not ready for this level.
That goal he gave up was really bad, actually. Like, really, really bad. It was embarrassing.
Sometimes, JD, me I want to be honest with you. Sometimes, me want to disagree with JD, Sometimes I want to disagree against JD, But I can't. Sometimes I say, JD, why you don't give this player a break? But it's when I listen to what JD say and go back and come out of my feelings.
Lord, we gotta hear JD Mount now about how he was so right, and he told us, and he told you guys, and he told you this, and he told you that.
JD
Lord,
from a football level. When JD, sometimes I look and say, JD, why JD? Even Cephas. When one time JD said to us, look, Cephas is not technical. Cephas cannot play the technical game. Cephas only can play one way. And we just say, no. So it's become to pass. JD sees something in team game. Whenever the country going up, say, team reach. JD said, no, listen. I am not talking from my feelings. I analyze the game. JD talk and said, look, King has some deficient, right? King cannot defend. King bread and butter should post the defense. King sharp with the defense. People say, look, King assist the people in the box. King, let me tell you this. Just the coach, you see this coach, last time I call you, I say to you that he should keep his job and give him a little time. But
so you change your mind after one game?
I'm not change, Cranky. Sometimes, as a man, you have to go back and look into things and think about what you believe or what you want. You see, the problem I have with this coach, he has way too cap. That is the problem I have with this coach. He wears too cap, cracker. He trying to please someone, Cranky. And he doing that, it is bad for him. And he quickly talk. You see this talk he gave a while ago? I can tell you, Cranky, he's a two-mode. He said the right things now, and I can tell you. You see the next squad call, you're going to see. What are you doing? You cannot have this JPL player. They do not give. They want time. If you want to call local players, we have several local players overseas doing well. Call them.
Well, I think what we're gonna see, I bet the narrative in Jamaica is different. I'm telling you.
Yes,
the narrative in Jamaica is gonna be different.
Man like Oal Tracy.
It's gonna be a different narrative.
He's a two-mode too, He's gonna come and make some different talk.
Yeah,
you understand me? You understand me? Cranky. But one thing I want you guys to do, you and JD and Ryan LFC, I want three of you continue with the work. Don't stop. Like you say, if you guys stop, it's worse. Because you guys exposing everything and you guys teaching people locally and abroad what should be done. So do not stop, Cranky. And if you and JD and Ryan isn't here, I can tell you, it would have an next 20 years to go to World Cup.
We're going to work up, man, at the expense of Trinidad.
well, Cranky. You know, you have Cranky. This coach have to do the right thing. You see, if him do it, first of all, you see, if when the next squad has at least 8 midfielder, me can say we're going to work up. But you see, if I see like 4 or 5 midfielders, I can say no. At least 8 midfielder, Cranky. When we see 8 midfielder in a 23 or 26 man squad, I don't want to see 10 defender, 10 forward, and no. Special forward you're not using. And you call this whole local player, you cannot use them. You cannot, you have them for a purpose to sell. Why you using the program to sell players?
Yeah, man. I appreciate the call, sir.
Yeah, man. Yes, Cranky, but continue. Don't stop.
Yeah,
and tell JD don't stop.
All right, sir. Bless up.
Tell him don't stop.
All right.
Thanks.
Andre, what you have to say, Andre? We're going to close down soon because I 11 something I know, so we're getting more seasoned. Andre, a friend of mine said to me today, Andre, we can't hear you. Can't hear you, Andre.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a friend of mine called me today. I haven't talked to him in, Jesus, a long time. We used to play ball in the 90s. It's a long time ago, Andre. They ball in the 90s. And he called me and he was saying one of the persons we used to know really well as gone yonder. And he was saying that he thinks we have about 1/3 to go. And I said, really? That long? I didn't know it was that long we have left. Really? 1/3. Yeah, so you sure about that? And we just laugh about it. Because we're talking about people like Dynamo and Catchers to play for some of the high schools in Jamaica, and they pass along. And we're talking about decision making and how some of us made the right decision and some made the wrong decision and went in a different direction. Decision making is important, as we see with CPAS, as we see with the coach. Decision making is everything, actually.
No.
It's everything. It's everything. It's everything.
The execution of the decision is where the problem comes in.
No. The decision that you make. Wait. CPAS is not about execution. CPAS is about decision. The coach is not about execution. The coach is about decision. You made the wrong decision, the execution doesn't matter because you're going to execute incorrectly. That's what happens.
The execution is important. So let me say this. There's the only analogy or the only explanation I could provide at the moment, maybe because it's late. It have preachers out there that they put in a certain bucket because they say they're misleading people.
Yes.
And taking people's money and that kind of stuff, and telling people things, making promises to people that they know cannot be delivered. It's the only thing that comes to mind when I hear you say to the people listening to you with so much confidence that you're not worried about the World Cup qualifiers. I don't want you to mislead anybody. The World Cup.
Okay. So
hold on.
Go ahead,
I'm going to make this point earlier on the phone call, and you cut me off.
I cut you off? I would never cut you off.
We have been put into a situation, meaning the group, where we have to fight each other to get to the World Cup. Right? I hope you realize that.
And what's the name of the guy? His name is Crawford. You know Crawford, the boxer?
No, I don't know Crawford.
Good thing you don't know Crawford.
We're put in a situation where we have to fight each other, and they have put a team that is good enough that while we fight each other, they get the points required to qualify. That's in Curacao. So you need to be careful in the hope that you're giving to people. That's all I'd say on that.
I'm gonna make some comment. I'll make some comment.
No, you don't have to go on that. Let's leave that one.
No, it's not what you just said. Something else. JFF, I'm talking to you. Come on, watch my program. Okay, no one wants it. Watch your program. You need to get up your ass and go recruit some other players than the one to be carrying in. Because we need players. Get up off your butt. Stop playing this game that you're playing. If you want $12 million from World Cup, go recruit players like Lloyd Kelly, for example, who now plays for Juventus, and is starting a center half. Go recruit them. We need an all-star team. We don't need no coach. We don't need no player this. We just need an all-star team to take us where we need to get to. Good players get it done. I heard Linda Delapena said that a long time ago. If you're good enough, you ain't going to take you that much time to learn to go play some good football, okay? Real Madrid is an all-star team. Zinedine Zidane and Ancelotti don't know as no great coaches. They're great managers in terms of managing people. You need people who can manage people. So go dig up your ass and go recruit some players apart from the ones we're bringing in, and also get a coach that actually can coach. You don't have to coach like you're coaching in the club level. Get a man manager. Put it that way. Get a man manager with a little bit of a system. Because the coach says it's not about systems. It's not about, when I say it's not about systems, it's about people. Because he ain't got no system. So it can't be about no system. You don't have no system. He's saying this for the longest. Let me just, hold a second, Andre. Here's what the coach said. Football is not about systems. It's about individuals. I thought Pep had a system. I thought Arteta had a system. I thought Klopp had a system. What am I missing? Isn't that Real Madrid? Real Madrid don't know no system. They got a bunch of all-stars. People have gotten comfortable. I wonder why. Because you keep playing the same people all the time. Of course you're going to get comfortable. You ain't making no change. You just said you had competition for places this last go around. What are you doing? No one is guaranteed a spot in the squad. Lie I tell. All the JP players them guaranteed a spot. Come and see them all the time in that team. Making mistakes around penalty spot is not okay. He's calling out Palmer. Don't call out the players, coach. You're not call out yourself, so don't call out nobody. We're not as good as we think we are. That much is obvious. You got 4-1 from Panama. We have unity. It means vibes. You have no vibes. Vibes can't win game. Key contributing factors to defeat: mistakes, discipline, and people out of position. Same as mistake. I would say key contributors to discipline. You have the wrong coach, the wrong coach, the wrong coach. And then we have some players who need to go. Wait. Here's the worst one he said, people. Here's the last one he said. He said, he's giving young players an opportunity. Which young players you give an opportunity, coach? Please tell me which young player give an opportunity to. Huh? Dixon was in the team before you came to coach a team. So you didn't give Dixon an opportunity. He was in the team. Which young player you talk about? Kera was in the team. Lamakisa was in the team. Did you bring in Madasil to play in this Gold Cup? Did you bring in Brandon Cover? Did you give Campbell any game? You give Madasil a small little run in the Unity Cup. You didn't play Brandon Cover. Did you get Tyrese Hall? Did you call Jeremy Johnson? Who you gave? Which? I'm confused. Which kids are you talking about? Damian Lowe is not a kid. Cephas is not a kid. Antonio is not a kid. What kid are you talking about? I have never seen such incompetence in my life. And then the JFF is allowing this to happen. And even though I am extremely confident about making the World Cup, contingent upon certain things happening, obviously.
Qualifiers.
It has always been a contingency, people. Because I've always said it's based on who's coming. Okay? I've always had a contingency. Because this team can't go World Cup. This team has constituted can't go World Cup. But if I bring in 4 or 5 people who are all automatic starters in a team of 11, then half the team, right? Then might not get 5. Let me get 4. Then almost half the team is new. And quality. That's all I gotta say. Floor is yours, sir. Wait, what are you doing? You're doing something there. It's making a lot of noise. I don't know what that is.
Sorry, I just shifted because I made a few notes.
You made notes. Okay.
On the press conference, because I was hearing the coach saying something that he's saying it in a different language, if you want to put it that way.
He said enjoy up.
You just talking about players coming in. He was talking patois. He's working his patois. You're talking about players coming in, and the number of players that comes in is going to be of concern, because the coach did say that talent alone is not going to get it done. It's about having a team, not individuals. He made reference to Panama having players with, I'm not sure if he said less talent or playing in lesser leagues or whatever, but he did say that Jamaica have more talent, more quality than Panama, but they are a team. I don't know if you can remember.
That's crap. That's nonsense.
No, you can't dismiss that.
No, that's nonsense. That's nonsense.
No, you cannot dismiss
It's nonsense. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. Who's king better? Who's Cephas better than Panama? Who's king better than Panama? That's nonsense.
Have you ever heard? With us speak talk about the 5 C's?
Don't stop me. Let me start talking about it. No. Let's back up. Let's do the comparison. No. Let's go to the comparison. Who is Panama better than Panama? Let's go to the whole team. Let's go to the team.
But let me make the point.
We're not better than Panama.
But this is what he said. Panama is better.
But that's because he got to cover his ass.
You have more talent, right? But listen to what I'm saying. He mentioned commitment, right? What drives commitment in a team environment? I mean, you've been a corporate guy. You've had people work for you. What drives commitment?
In my experience, there are a number of factors, right?
It could be a number.
You can incentivize people to drive commitment. People can be loyal to you to drive commitment. You can make people feel good about what they're doing to drive commitment. You can almost like require it in a sense to get commitment, right? You got to create an environment where people want to be committed. Right. You want to feel like they're part of a collective. You want to feel like if they make a mistake, if they do something wrong, they're not only letting themselves down, they're letting the entire community down, right? Almost like a sense of obligation that you create that allows them to be that way, right? So you can incentivize them to be committed, or you can create an environment where, you know what, they feel part of the collective and they feel a responsibility, an obligation, an accountability to do the right thing or to enable success.
And to do the right thing consistently, right? So
consistently is a given because it's a given. It's a given.
What he said in the press conference that I latched onto, he talked about the lack of commitment or the fact that commitment is required, and he talked about there's no consistency in the team, right? And the lack of consistency.
I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means.
I'm trying to help you, brother. I'm trying to, but you're not allowed.
Okay. Explain to me what that means. I don't know what that means.
So when you have a team that lacks consistency, there could be a number of things. Maybe the goals aren't clear that was set for that team. Maybe it's not clear. Maybe there's poor communication, right? Maybe the players don't trust the environment that they're in or what they're asked to do, right? What we see sometimes is players look good at times, like against Trinidad in the Unity Cup, like against the game that was won in this Gold Cup, but then you see they go back and forth. They perform sometimes and they don't perform at other times. But I think most importantly, what I take from what the coach saying, and I don't know who he's talking about, whether he's talking about him or he's talking about the administration. One of the biggest things about when the lack of commitment and inconsistency in performance in any environment is poor leadership. And I'm sure you'd agree with that.
Yeah. Can we stop there for a second? The person is saying the same thing that you're saying about the coaches about we're better than Panama. I have no idea what that means. Wait. Let me say this. We have paid Panama about 20 times. We've only beaten them 4 times. What are we talking about?
No. Hold on. Let me say what I said. Don't rephrase what I didn't say. I said the coach said.
No, I know what you said. The coach said, but I'm saying the coach is trying to preach a narrative, even trying to make a case about something that we have better people. Then you're the problem because you can't get the best out of the people you have. You're the problem.
And he's saying that there's poor leadership because if he's talking about,
but he's not talking about himself.
If he's talking about lack of commitment and he's talking about no consistency, which we can all see, then that goes to the top. That goes to the leadership because there need to be clear goals. They need to be communicated. Everybody needs to be on the same page. And what he said tonight is that he's unhappy. He's unhappy with all of those things. That all of those things not happening for some reason. And he's saying to players now that they don't have a spot in the team, that he's now going to look at their performances at their club, because that's the only thing that he has, right? Over the next few months and the next couple of months. So I don't know, and it's not really a couple of months. The league for most of those guys is going to start in August, right? So he's going to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care what the coach does. I'll be honest, I don't. I just want him to pick he has no choice. We're gonna run his ass out of town if he don't pick the players when they come in. Run his ass out of town. Whether JF want to like it or not, we're gonna run his ass out of town. That's all I gotta say about that. So his ass is going.
What is required to get out of the group? Right? You're talking about for any.
I'm bringing in players and I say go win the game. That's all. We don't care what it's because win all the games and we're good. You win all the games, we ain't got to worry about it.
It's not that easy.
If you win all the games, we ain't got to worry about it. So that's what's required. Go win all the games.
But so you're going back to the soup thing.
I'm going to with a pickup team. I said this before numerous times. International football is a pickup team. Unless you're Spain, where you have a system of play, and the kids grew up through the system, and they all grew up through the ranks, and it's a pickup team. We don't have no system of play, we don't style of play, and we don't have nobody in the JFF with the wherewithal to create that, because they ain't have the ability to do so. I don't care what they want to say. They don't, as they would have done it already. They haven't started. They're not starting. They don't know what they're doing a lot of times, and they're gonna beat me, but I don't really care.
I think unintentionally, you may be giving people false hope. You need to be careful with that.
I am taking bets on this. Yeah. Bets. I don't gamble. I shouldn't say that on YouTube. Okay. I'll take. We can have dinner bets. You get dinner bets. I'm taking all dinner bets. We're making the World Cup. If the people who are supposed to be coming comes, we're making the World Cup.
So have you seen Curacao?
Now with these performances, they may say, you know what, we're not come again. Come again. With these performances, I'm like, we're not coming again.
Yeah, somebody accused me of trying to sell unicorn here. You
look, okay. If I tell you I have a team, we have a team in CONCACAF, we'd say, suppose I have a team in CONCACAF with like, say, I'm gonna just speculate, say 7 Premier League players, 8 Premier League players. You think this team should do well, right?
Playing in the Caribbean is difficult.
No, you're not answering my question. Should you do well?
You should be doing well now.
Yes. But but no. Can you just answer the question I'm asking, please?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just say yes. That's all.
Yes, you should.
Don't be McClaren. Don't be McClaren talking around the question. Don't be McClaren. I didn't know I had McClaren on the program.
How many of those players that you are expecting is playing for a top 6 team in the Premier League?
None.
How many of the players now is playing for a top 6 team in the Premier League?
None.
Okay. So they're playing mid-table to the bottom of the table.
But I have one player who played for a top 16 and can play for any team. Any team in the world. Okay? Any team. Any team in football. Any team in football. Any. Let me just say this again. Any team in football. I rest my case.
I know how quickly you go from
0 to 100. From 0 to 100. From 0 to 100.
Yeah, I also know that you're at the age where blood pressure and stuff could be a problem. I'm just trying to.
No, I'm fit. I'm fit.
You know what I can tell you for sure? Trinidad is going to fight Jamaica in Trinidad.
Okay, let me just respond to that. People, wait, let me just respond to you. We're not coming to fight you. We're coming to play a football game. If you want a physical fight, that's not what we're coming to do.
Well, you don't, because you're not playing against yourself and you're not on the field by yourself.
We're not fighting. We're not going to fight you.
Oh, you don't get it.
Just come to kick your ass and leave and go home. What we're gonna do.
If you're not ready for a fight, that would be interesting.
No, we're not fighting you. We're going to play you off the park. That's what we're going to do.
Those guys that you're bringing, they're not familiar with Trinidad. I heard you saying tonight.
We don't have in our team right now. We have 1 Premier League player in our team. One.
Yeah,
one.
Yes, one.
The other one ain't been a Premier League player ever for Jamaica. So we have one, Miss Pinnock, and he's made some mistakes tonight too. We have one goalkeeper with the Premier League quality. He's made mistakes. He made a lot of mistakes tonight.
I heard you saying tonight. You were saying that those guys cannot play in the heat. The heat is going to affect them. I also heard you say you were in Jamaica.
Oh, you said Bailey play for a top 6 team.
You're not allowed me.
Wait, no. I'm saying somebody said Bailey play for a top 6 team. Are they top? No, they're top 7.
Read.
No, they finished ahead of Nottingham Forest, so they're top 6. That's true. We have one player play for top 16.
Pay attention to Devon's message here. This is a real.
What's Devon's message?
This is a real message. Devon knows what he's talking about.
What Devon say? What Devon say?
Devon know what he's talking about.
I don't see Devon's message. Where is it? Devon, Andre and I have news for you, but you won't hear the news until later this year. Andre. Oh, he's talking to you.
Yeah, he's talking to me. Yeah.
Yeah. He's telling there's more players than I said.
No. He's making a reference to Trinidad. He's making a reference to Trinidad. Trust me. But but what I already said that Jamaica is very hot. Trinidad will feel at home at Jamaica as well. You don't think so? They've been there so often.
Yeah, no. Trinidad won't Jamaica won't intimidate Trinidad until they feel the pain that they felt in the last Gold Cup. They won't be intimidated. The last Gold Cup, you see what happened in the last Gold Cup, you forgot.
The ground.
Your son was trying to make it better, but he couldn't change it.
No,
he was trying to make it better.
That day. But listen to what I'm saying. The ground in Bahamas is going to be difficult for those Premiership players. The ground in Trinidad is going to be difficult. It's going to be dry. It's probably going to be hot. You just have to be careful that you're not creating false hope in people. Let people take this in the right way and hope that
people. First of all, I don't know what false hope I'm creating. I'm saying I am confident. You have to listen to what I'm saying. I am confident we bring World Cup. I'm trying to bring people along with me and not to have this false sense of desperation and this false sense of of hopelessness. I'm giving you hope. I am Mr. Hope.
Okay.
I am Mr. Hope.
Well, what I would tell you,
you see the text I just sent you? I just sent you a text.
You sent me a picture?
No, I sent you a text. Read the text. Read the text. Defense rest. Okay, defense rest.
I give you that one. You have a point there. yeah.
It won't be easy. It won't be easy. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy, people. It's not gonna be easy, but I do think if we get out of the quad we're looking for, and they play up to their ability, we should come through.
It's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be hard because Curacao is playing, and Trinidad is very confident. Because they fought Saudi Arabia the other night, right? It won't be easy. And it'd be much harder too because we don't have no coach.
And Curacao has a very good team as well.
They have a good team, yeah. But we don't have no coach, so that's why we have a problem. We don't have no coach. There's somebody masquerading as a coach, but he's not.
Well, he sounded frustrated tonight. And he sung as though he put the hammer down, so.
He ain't putting the hammer down. He's just talking. He's a vibes man. Come on, Andre. He's a vibes man. I listen to him. I've watched him since he's been here. I warned the JFF about what they should get. And he said, boy, people don't know what we're talking about. Because they said we don't know football. They're the ones who know football. And every day they're proving themselves wrong.
So what if you look at the trajectory, what would you say has been the improvement from the Nations League last year to the Nations League this year to the Gold Cup last year? I think it was the Gold Cup was last year, right?
No, Nations League was last year. There's no Gold Cup.
So there was Nation League, there was Copa America.
Right, there was no Gold Cup. Yeah,
not Gold Cup. Sorry, Gold Cup, Copa America. All of those opportunities to now. Big up Duclan. Can you quantify improvement over?
I think we have actually regressed. We have regressed. So here's why we regressed. Defensively, we were hard to beat. We were hard to break down. Mm-hmm. We played accordingly. Offensively, we were somewhat limited. We didn't create enough chances. But at least we could rely upon our defense. And Hagrimson made it so that, you know what? That was his focus. That was his expertise. I don't think he was a creative coach. But we have regressed because defensively now he said we gave up 6 goals in 3 games. We gave up 4 goals in 1 game. Stop screwing the number. 2 looks good. Average of 2 looks good. We gave up 4 goals against one of the better teams, right? We should have given up 3 goals to Guadeloupe easily. Blake made 2 brilliant saves. It easily should have been 3-1 in that game. Right? So we have regressed. We have regressed.
What is informing the opinion that they go to the World Cup then? What is it?
Oh, no. I base my decision since I've worked in an environment where I know what good looks like and what quality looks like.
Right.
I believe in life. If you have the requisite quality and that quality has been trained appropriately, even a bad coach, that quality going to say, you know what? Forget this. I'm here to win. The quality is going to override even the coach who's poor. Because that's what quality does sometimes.
The only problem, if I didn't know that you spent the last 2 weeks in Jamaica, I would be right with what you're saying. But
no, I mean, think about it. If I'm getting Premier League players in my team, right, or Championship players, I'm gonna say Premier League players, and I look at what I have now, and I have some good players, because good players get better with better players. Would you agree? The better players are around you, the better you look. You may not get any better, but you look better, right?
Yes.
So if I have some decent players in my team now, and I have some decent players, and I supplement that with some better players or just as good players, then I should be better. That's the way I view it. And if I'm getting, if I'm expected to get, which may not materialize, but hope it does, a world-class player along with those good players, I should be okay. A world-class player.
Okay.
Who can't get the ball because we ain't got no midfield. But anyway, got a midfield. Midfield is poor, but the midfield will change too. Here's what's going to happen, Andre. Sometimes, some people have said this, right? Somebody was texting me. Wait, somebody who knows very knowledgeable was texting me all night.
Hold on a
They
minute.
said to me, we're getting 4-0.
Let me say this to Devon. Devon, could you use regular text? My WhatsApp isn't working. I'm not so sure why. It's not connecting.
Wait, Andre. So, somebody was texting me all night. They said to me, we're getting 4-0. They call out certain players before the game started, you know. They said we're gonna get 4. We get 4-1, even though I think we could have scored about 3 goals. And they were very upset about certain players being in the team and shouldn't be in the team, right? And their view is that even though I'm optimistic, they're not totally sure this coach will take us any place except to the garbage dump. The garbage dump. You think, we're not going to the promised land with this coach. He's not the answer. He's not the answer. And if I was a JFF, I would figure if I have a cause for firing him, I'm firing.
Well, and
I'd fire him. I'd fire him.
You know that's not going to happen. So
I don't know that.
You don't.
I gotta make some calls tomorrow. I don't know that.
So you actually believe you can influence that?
No, I can't influence that. I'm just kidding. But I don't think he's the right person for the job. And I don't like to call for people to get fired in life because everybody want to have a job. But first of all, Andre, in life, if you don't prepare yourself for a role, then why should you be given the role? Or how you expect to be successful in the role? Forget about giving the role.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't prepared himself for this job. He keeps talking about how tough CONCACAF is. Andre, if you're going to go for a role in a place, don't you figure out what the company, what they do, this is not like a company either, where you don't do inner workings. A lot of data and information is out there in the public domain to know what CONCACAF is, to know who the Jamaican players are, to know what you have at your disposal to work with. You have to know what tools you have before you go on your job. What has he done to prepare himself? Nothing. He's been a joke.
Well, at the end of the day, let's put it this way, and this is just to put it in a context that maybe somebody would understand it. If you belong to a wealthy family and they left you, your dad or mom passed away and they left you 10 million and you squandered it.
Yeah.
If Jamaica squandered this opportunity, that would be because a minimum of 10 million. A minimum of 10 million. The amount of revenue.
I'll say this. If we don't make World Cup, the JFF should not survive. And I'll be one of those people who's beating the drum every day to get rid of them. If we don't make World Cup, the JFF should not survive. As it's constituted, should not survive. Those people have to go. They have to go.
You shouldn't.
I know they're gonna say you can't fire us, you can't do anything about it. They should. People gotta push them to get out. No, they can't survive. This is the easiest way to make World Cup in the history of this region. Easiest. I would say the same thing for Trinidad too. If Trinidad don't make World Cup, then whoever is Trinidad should not survive either. They shouldn't survive.
I think Trinidad situation is different. I think.
No, I mean, there's an other route, right? So if Jamaica win his own and you don't, you still have other routes to take. You can finish second in the group.
But I do think Trinidad's situation is different still. Jamaica has just been. Jamaica is in a very, very good position with the Adidas contract. I mean, there's so much resources available, right? That give Jamaica the opportunity to get to the World Cup. The players that is available to Jamaica, Jamaica have to earn the spot in the World Cup. But I think people create an environment sometimes that could make certain things happen, make it easier for it to happen. So I'm not saying that FIFA is gonna give Jamaica a pass, but their arms are open wide for Jamaica to be at the World Cup. I think it's gonna make a lot of money for a lot of people, for Adidas, for FIFA. Jamaica fans buy the gear, so there's a lot of.
I thought Trinidad and fans buy Jamaica gear. You guys don't buy Jamaican gear?
I don't know if anybody does. I don't know. I don't know. But I think the opportunity is there, and you all need to grab it. You all need to grab it.
Yeah, but you have to. The part of good leadership is hiring quality people to work for you, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest. In fact, it may be the most significant component of great leadership is knowing quality and hiring the right quality to help you execute and get the job done. Either be strategic or execute and have vision like you do and can be an effective challenge. And that hasn't happened occur in this case. McClaren was a lazy hire. Like if you know how much people we had in the pipeline, it's a lazy hire. And that lazy hire is coming to bite us in the butt.
But
we haven't been this poor in a long time. We struggle with BVI. Hey, people, we struggle with, look, McClaren is right about something. The football in the region has gotten better, but it ain't got that much better for us to struggle with all these minions like BVI, for Christ's sake. BVI getting 5, 6, 7, and then we go play them and barely squeak out a victory. All right, little header. We ain't even. It's a joke. It's literally a joke.
Duclan, somebody promised me one, and I still waiting on it. I guess you're right. I might have to go buy one. But look, Cranky, it's serious, and I think the loss tonight was bad. It was a bad loss, 4-1, and it's certainly, while it, somebody mentioned it being a nothing tournament, and while that statement is true.
So nothing tournament. When you get knocked out, it's a nothing tournament.
But while that's not the goal is to get to the World Cup. This tournament at this moment in time should have been an indicator that Jamaica is heading in the right direction. Getting out of the group should have been something that not even part of a conversation. The question should be, how far could Jamaica go in this tournament? And this has to be considered a missed opportunity on the achievement, however people want to categorize it. And this train needs to get back on the track.
He needs to be fired.
This train.
That's the only. While you're talking, while you're talking, I'm thinking he has to be fired.
But here's the problem with that. While he has to take responsibility, and people saying he should be fired, I've heard you all talk about in the past that he have challenges. He have challenges with people within the administration that's making it difficult for him to select who he wants. So
no. I've said this. I've been told this by as good a source as any. His contract gives him the ability to pick who he wants. The man is a damn politician. That's the same person. Nobody told him when he was interviewed on Sabina Park to say, well, maybe it wasn't him. TVJ said he was complimentary. That's part of the problem. The traditional media in Jamaica is a joke. Not all of them, but a lot of them are a joke. They came up with the headline, then they cussed me and said me use their material inappropriately. They come up with a headline saying how he was complimented about the players. The man said the players are not educated. Right? So he's been saying this, and then he's playing them. Then if you're saying they're not good enough, then why are you playing them? You said it. We didn't say it. Then you try to be like you're a politician trying to be cute and treat us like we're a bunch of morons. And then I asked you about Tyrese, and you're talking about people. Have you guys really listened to this conversation? When I asked him about Tyrese, the man basically said, wait 1 second, Andre. He basically said, almost as if I'm not going to experiment because I want to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he played Busy Atkinson in the 10. who hasn't really played for Jamaica except a little bit of run he got against Trinidad and a little bit of run he got in the Unity Cup. He hasn't really played for Jamaica. He's seen Tyrese. He took his team or helped to take his team to the championship from the League One. We've seen him play. He's better player than Dixon at this moment in time. And you give him no game time. And I ask you the question, you say you don't want to experiment. But you're experimenting with a lot of different people.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. That because that's the first thing that came to mind when he said
that one makes sense to nobody.
Yeah, that's
except
interesting.
him.
And that's one that I think guys should dig into and try to find out what happened there. That's what reporters do, right? That's what media people do.
We have no idea, and he doesn't answer questions. He talk around in circles. He never answers the question ever. Doesn't answer. That's why I don't want to go to the press conference because he doesn't answer questions.
Yeah, but there must be other people that would know what took place there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's actually very weird. Actually, it's actually very weird. And he said the kid trains well. So sometimes there's disciplinary problems. People in camp, they don't behave themselves. Whatever. He said the kid trains well. He's very good in practice. I'm still confused.
I don't know what to expect from Trinidad. I can tell you, if you look at recent times, US went to Trinidad and lost 2-1.
They had 10 people. We're down to 10 men. Just want to say
that's part of the environment.
But I just want to say that.
Yeah,
we're not playing low. We're not playing low in that game. We're not playing low in that game.
Cause the player who plays in Europe to
you hear me? We're not playing low in that game. Not playing low in that game. We're not playing low away from home.
You picking team now all of a sudden.
Yeah, pick team.
So the environment in the Caribbean is challenging, and that's why the US and Canada and those guys don't play in the early stage of the World Cup qualifiers because they don't want to go into the Caribbean and play. And so all the players coming in, they may not be familiar. It could be challenging. So, but it's going to be interesting. I just hope that out of that group, somebody's got to come first, and hopefully the second team is one of the two best teams that get a chance to go and get there via the playoff games, so that at least we can have two teams there. So whether it's Jamaica playing in the playoff games or Trinidad playing in the playoff games, you got to be on it because there's a chance that one of the groups second place team is going to miss out.
Yeah, there's some tough groups, right? We expect the decision, the games to go either way, right? There's some tough teams. The Honduras, which are really weird. They got 6 from Canada, but that their zone is a pretty tough zone. The Jamaica zone is an interesting zone. One would think Jamaica would be dominant team in that region, in that zone, but I'm not sure that's the case anymore, given how we have played in this competition. But because yours truly is very confident about certain situations occurring, then we feel more optimistic about the possible outcome. Right? We don't know what Curaçao are bringing. Curaçao are bringing a Dutch team. And this whole infighting we have within Jamaica, forget about the Caribbean, about who is overseas and who is local nonsense. And we play inferior players in terms of ability. It's ridiculous. And it's costing us. Right? It's costing us.
It's a very dangerous and destructive.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's very, because it happens in Trinidad too, and I think it all comes out of a system from, I think there's no other way to point the finger from way back in the colonial days that we are misusing and against each other, and it's just a difficult thing because Trinidad struggle with it too. The difference is you guys talk about it, they don't talk about it there, and you highlight it and you make it a topic of conversation, and it makes people uncomfortable. There it's being done every day, and it's like normal because once people are benefiting from it, they don't talk about it.
Well, you should talk about it because you have an endowment, so I'm sure that's working out well.
I don't know what an endowment is. Am I supposed to know what that is?
Inside joke, people. Inside joke. But Trinidad have endowment for their football team.
I don't know if I'm supposed to know what that is.
But I'll say this though. I am looking forward to the World Cup qualifiers. And most importantly, the decision making. Who is the coach? Who are the assistant coaches? Do we have tools instead of going to stand to go look down like in the old days? We get some iPads and some tools to utilize to assess games. Which players are coming? Did players change their mind to say, I can't go play for some team, getting 4-1 to Panama, I'm embarrassing, my brand gonna get affected negatively. So there's a player say, you know what, I gotta keep my brand. I ain't flying now, or to fly 9 hours to be on a bench for the entire sequence of games, because this coach don't know what he's doing.
Look, there's an old saying that laugh and cry live in the same house.
Can you tell me that Tyrese would do worse than Cephas? That's hard to believe. It's hard to believe, people.
No,
It's hard to believe Tyrese would do worse than Cephas in this sequence of games.
Yeah,
it's hard to believe.
But he wasn't given the chance, right?
But I'm saying I watch him play. It's hard to believe he would do worse.
Yeah.
And he's been coached in what the coach says. He's been taught from 7 years old, as he give us, to learn how to play football. So if he doesn't know the physical ability as Cephas, at least he knows to think. Because Cephas' brain freezes sometimes. In fact, all the time.
It is my belief that if you're a coach and you're in charge of a football team, you have to be 100% absolutely honest with your selections. If you're not,
I agree with that too.
You're gonna have problems. Winning football matches consistently is going to be a problem. So if it is that people are being selected not based on merit and for other reasons, then it makes sense.
Let me say this. How does anybody, so this is going to sound really bad, but it's a fact. How does Busy Atkins get selected and this kid doesn't get selected for any minutes? Busy come to play the 10. He's not even a 10. He's a winger. So we couldn't get him on the wing, put him on the 10. So why put this kid in 10 then, if that's what you're going to do? Be fair. I still am disturbed by the whole thing. I'm really disturbed by it. It's concerning because as a kid, when you're 21, 22 years old people, you're impressionable. You come into a team, you know player better than certain players around you. You get no game. You walk away saying, you know what? I can't deal with it. You know what disappointment must be like? Unbelievable disappointment. Because if you play sports, being on the bench is the worst place you can be. Seriously. Worst place. Unless it's basketball, we go in and out of the game. In football, you're on the bench for the entire game. It's the worst place. And the kid then comes, travel all these hours, didn't take any vacation, got to go to preseason in the next 2 weeks, and he sits on the bench for the entire time. Got to go in vibes up. And he sits and says, you know what? I'm better than him. I'm better than him. I'm better than him. How come I can't get no game? And everybody knows that in sports, it's obvious where talent is. This is not like some subjective area. You know who's talented, you know who's not. Very, very transparent, very unforgiving.
I think to say that there's no solution, I don't think that's right. I think if with the right people involved, I think, a lawyer would first interpret laws and find loopholes and that kind of stuff. So I'm looking into something right now that on the surface, there's no avenue for what I'm thinking is possible, right? But I'm going to look into it. I'm going to look into it real close. I'm going to get the expertise that's required to look at it real close and see it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I can't do anything about it, but I don't believe that. I believe everything, anything that happens, you could do something about it. If you fire the coach now, who is the replacement? Is there enough time? Would the behaviors that is potentially affecting the situation, would those behaviors change?
So I have a question. So Tottenham just fire Postecoglou, right?
Yeah.
Man U's always firing somebody for whatever reason. The Brentford coach just left, right? There are a lot of coaches that change jobs every single day. There's always some coach of the job, and good coaches too, right? So finding a coach is not that difficult. It's not that difficult.
Yeah, but
unless you're lazy.
Finding a coach shouldn't be difficult. There's a lot of coaches out of jobs. But remember, this is not a coach just coming in that is spending.
Find them. Do like what Brazil does. Brazil, wait. Back up. People, cut. Didn't Brazil just bring in Ancelotti? Is it World Cup next year?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, They just big country, big team. Yeah, just bringing the coach out of there.
Yeah,
just
but that was planned a long time out, right?
But as I said, when you fired Hawkinson and you hired this man, you should have been planning already. I've said this numerous times.
Yeah.
Should be planning already. It ain't that difficult, people. Trust me. It's easy. You're firing a dinosaur for somebody younger and more innovative. You find a dinosaur. The man is a detriment. He's not an asset. He's not an asset. He's not an asset. He's a liability. Fire him.
Man
says it's not about systems. It's about people. Like systems don't matter.
Making an argument the other day today actually for schoolboy football. I think it was on your show earlier today.
No, he was making an argument, but it wasn't logical. it just wasn't logical. It just wasn't logical.
I'm listening to you accommodate the argument, and I'm saying, what is Frankie really doing?
Is that no? Because I have to come in on my callers. I can't be rude and say, you know what?
No,
I think what you're saying just make it.
But if somebody Declan want to hire Dwight York,
we do want to hire Dwight York for our marketing purposes. You got a nice hat. You have a nice hat. For marketing purposes, want to make some money on the side.
That hat might be costly.
Yeah, the hat is costly. No, I just don't. I don't get it, Andre. I just don't get it. We need to be better. We need to be better, people. We need to be better.
Yeah, that's my belief all throughout the Caribbean. We need to be better.
The Caribbean is joking.
Yeah, we need to.
The Caribbean is joking. The Caribbean is joking. We can't keep on going the same avenue, same direction of travel, with no good thing in sight that we can look forward to, and we're not doing anything to change how things are going. It's just not okay.
Yeah,
the kids are the ones who are suffering. We're gonna bring through a whole bunch of other kids who believe they're gonna play for the national team, and when they go play against better competition, it suggests otherwise. We need better coaches.
So, Devon, I'm just asking the question because that's what Cranky and others is suggesting.
No, you can fire the coach right now. Right now. Don't wait.
So I'm asking.
Fire the coach. I said fire the coach. Fire the coach. Fire the coach. Devon, please make an argument. Okay, Devon. Let me call you out. Please make an argument for retention of the coach. You want? Okay, Devon. Please come on, Devon. I'm gonna drop you the link. Come on and make an argument, and I'll make an argument for his firing. And people in the stands, people in this chat. Please judge the result. Come on, Devon. Come. Make an argument to keep the coach. Since you want to keep him, me say fire him right now. In fact, to me, he wouldn't even leave Dallas. Me I call him. Don't come to don't worry, come back to Jamaica. Go straight to England. Stay away there. Cause I just see you there anyway. Stay. Do not come back to Jamaica. Go straight to England and go on vacation that you've been for the entire time when you're not here. Go there and stay there. Don't come back.
Then we'll take your passport. You send Devon the link?
I ain't sending to you. Devon, you want the link, Devon? You know what? I'm going to send the link. Devon, come make a case for your coach. I don't even have to think about this. I can make a coach for his firing immediately. He needs to go. Devon, I send you the link. Devon, I send you the link. If you want to come on and make a case for coach, you want to make a case for the person who just lost the Panama 4-1, then come. Come, Devon, make a case. Send the link, Devon. Come make a case, Devon. Please tell us why we should retain him, because I cannot fathom why we should retain him.
Somebody.
Yeah?
They call him the coach Dunce. I don't know why.
I ain't gonna call him Dunce. I don't think he's Dunce.
Somebody in the chat is doing that.
I'm not gonna call him Dunce. I just think he's not the right man for the job.
This is look at this argument here that every coach should have every national team should have a coach of the same nationality.
It depends if you have qualified people of that nationality to coach a team.
Yeah.
Right? It's about quality. I'm agnostic to who you are. If you're quality and you're gonna allow me to win, because that's what this is about, and get positive outcome. If winning is the only thing I want you to do, if I want you to develop my football, whatever I'm hiring you to do, if you can do it really well and you can excel at it, I'm gonna hire you.
What we can't lose sight of is that while the coach is the leader, the coach need a structure around them. It's like you leading a department. You need competent people around you to get the job done because you can't do everything. So,
Honduras made the second round. Curacao lost to Honduras. So Jamaica should feel better. This great Curacao we're talking about, they struggle against El Salvador. They struggle against Honduras. They're like us. They ain't better than us. And we're getting better players. They can't get no more players. Well, maybe not. So I feel good. Don't you feel good, Andre?
I know that Curacao is very dangerous. I know that.
Yeah, they appear to be a danger to themselves. They got knocked out of the competition. They're going home like we. All three of us are going home in the same group. People, it's a weak group. All three of us going home. And Bermuda didn't make the tournament. So really, it's a weak group.
Yes, Chelsea, blessings.
Hey, people, you know how weak our group is? Go look at the other groups so you can see how weak we are. Every other group of people going to the next round. We're the only group with no team going to the next round. None. I ain't worried. Told you we're going to go to the World Cup.
You're creating content to make people come after you. You keep creating content. People are going to clip you.
Okay, so deny this. Every team in our zone is out of the first round of Copa, with the exception of the team that didn't make it to Copa. Is that correct?
Every team in your
Yes. Yeah. Defense rest. This great Curacao you guys keep talking about. Draw with El Salvador, lost to Honduras. Yes, they draw with Canada. Canada had an off night, apparently. Must have. Even though I think Honduras is a good team. I don't know how they get 6 from Canada. Sometimes that happens anyway.
So the coach work starts from tomorrow.
The coach don't work outside international windows, Andre.
No, he said in the press conference.
What did he say?
That he's got a lot of work to do and he's gonna be watching everybody and because nobody is safe and
you gonna watch him where? From his bedroom?
I am sure he wants to qualify for the World Cup.
Andre, if you want to qualify for the World Cup, Andre, your work starts when your first day before you got hired.
Yeah, before you got hired,
your work starts.
Yeah, before
he ain't doing nothing. He's just getting paid. He ain't doing nothing. Man, go home every little window. Talk about he's on, and later on he says on White Scout, Boy Scout, or whatever scout he's scouting, which system he has. Huh? Man ain't doing no work.
You all have to remember that he's from a country that still have a lot of say in what happens in Jamaica, so be careful.
That is true. That we can't deny.
You have to be careful how you treat the gentleman.
Yes, that's true. That's true. That you know what? I need to just rethink my thought process. I think we should fire his butt as immediately as possible. You cannot convince me otherwise. I think I know what good looks like. There's no way you should retain this coach. Zero people.
Do you know how many who the other candidates were?
Steve Bruce was one of them. I don't know who the other ones were, but I know Steve Bruce was one of them. Dwight York was supposed to be one. Steve Bruce was one. All recycled coaches, by the way. All recycled coach. I don't coach no experience. He said he's all recycled coach. Oh, I have all these people who are interested in the job. I hear no name where, you know what? Oh, that sounds interesting. I hear no interesting name for any job.
Bruce.
Steve Bruce.
Yeah. The job needed.
Steve Bruce wouldn't even hire himself. Steve Bruce would look at his own resume and say, you know what? I'm not hiring me.
Yeah, you need to coach Jamaica. I think a coach. I don't know where they would come from, but what I know is a coach with a modern psychology.
In today's environment, you have to have innovation is an imperative in football. Somebody who can understand the game, somebody who has a combination of organizational skill, who has the knowledge of football and what is required, who has man management skills, who understand the direction of travel for football, who understand players and players in the right position to be successful, who go out and do the work, who understand that recruiting is an imperative, and the team that really do well, all being equal, if I have the best players, I have a good chance of winning, and go on the road and go watch games, not stay in my living room talking about White Scout or you know what, going to Ibiza, drinking some whatever I'm drinking in Ibiza, and think it's going to give me the job done. We're going to spend time where the players are to figure out which players should be part of my system. It's not complex.
If these players, this is why I think this is a big deal. When the coach mentioned the lack of commitment, the lack of consistency, right? Which we can look at and tie all the way back to poor leadership. I mean, these guys are accustomed to good hotels. CONCACAF have provided that. They've been flying charter plane. That's CONCACAF have provided that. I'm sure the food is good. At least from my perspective, I haven't heard any complaint about the food. So, I mean, there just seems to be.
Andre, I have a question for you. How many teams from Caribbean in the second round of the Copa?
How many teams from the Caribbean?
Yeah.
None.
None?
Who? From the Caribbean, the English-speaking Caribbean?
Just the Caribbean in general. Don't go English-speaking. I ain't even going English-speaking.
I can't remember any. Who did?
I can't remember either. Because I can't remember either. Is that really the case? Seriously? Let me think about this. I mean, no, seriously, people. We have 16 teams in a tournament. The Caribbean have 1/3 of the teams that are in, 3/4 of the teams are in CONCACAF. Wow.
Yeah,
no Caribbean team has made the second round. None. No Haiti, no Trinidad, no Guadeloupe, no Jamaica. None of them. None of them.
The work that is being done is not enough. It's not enough. And it's unfortunate.
Curacao came close. We're not in the close business.
Yeah, no, you're not in the
close business. You close up your shop. We're not in the close business. You didn't make it or you don't. They ain't come no close. They gone home.
And in Jamaica case, it's not that. Look, it's not
that we could have lost all 3 games. He has to be fired. People, what are we talking about? He should have lost all 3 games.
Let me make a point here, right? In your group in Gold Cup, and before your 3rd game, do you realize you ended up in a worse position than Trinidad going into your 3rd game?
Because you drew one, right?
Yeah.
And did you win any?
No.
So no, going to 3rd game, we had 1-1 already. We had 3 points. We're in worse position.
Yeah, but hear what I'm saying though. What I'm saying is this.
You mean in terms of making the next round?
You could have won tonight
and still don't make the next round.
Qualify.
Yeah. The Guatemala loss was everything.
Right. Trinidad needed to win.
Yeah.
To qualify.
Yeah. But we know that was going to happen. No Caribbean team is winning, so we ain't worried about that. They're all the same. Put the barrel and roll on a hill. All the Caribbean teams. Put the barrel and roll them on a hill. They're worthless. They say Jamaica, they call it worthless. They're worthless footballers. They can't play football. You know what? We can't even go to cricket either. We have no outlet. Can't play cricket. Can't play football. What can't play?
I don't think it's the football. I don't think it's the footballers. The footballers plays a part in it, yes, but I think the development of the football is lacking. The development of the football is lacking. And if you go back and look at some of the interviews you all did,
I love J. Ross comment.
Yeah?
I love J. Ross comment. Best in the Caribbean. I keep telling people. Keep saying what's my theme? The Caribbean is not the competition. No, I was told that Busy Atkins is the best in the Caribbean. Yeah, he may be the best in the Caribbean. That's not the competition. That's not the competition.
In fairness to him, how many caps does he have?
Oh, Busy?
Yeah.
Probably about, I don't know, probably about 4 or 5, I would think.
Okay.
He played against Trinidad. Didn't play against Trinidad. He played against Trinidad. He played in the Unity Cup, and he played more recently. I don't want to beat Busy. This is not about Busy. I'm just saying the Caribbean is not the competition. It's not the competition.
Well, we have to develop the football in the Caribbean from
and you can't judge Caribbean players because when they play amongst themselves, you can't judge them. They need to go play against better competitions so you can judge them. As I've said before, Andre, when Trinidad plays Jamaica, we don't see any player that dominates.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Right? We don't see any player dominate. So how are they going to know which one of those players should I send to the national team on either side? No player stand out as, you know what, he's exceptional. He shouldn't be playing at this level. He's better. We don't have any of that. So I don't know how we get to the point of saying these players should be elevated and matriculated to the national team. I don't know if we do that.
Well, you were told how today.
What was I told?
I was told all of the schoolboy footballers that, you know.
No, that would make no sense. No. Schoolboy football, it's probably schoolboy football. They don't have any good coaches to coach them, to train them in the fundamentals. They don't.
The problem.
So whatever they've done with Trinidad and Jamaica about coaching, they need to make sure it goes down to the schoolboy level, because that's where they get. It goes on further, but at a minimum, because you go into high school when you're 11, 12, 13, you gotta get coaching there, good coaching.
Schoolboy football provides opportunities for kids to go to college in America, and it also provides a lot of job opportunity for coaches, right? So it's a kind of funny dynamic. But while we still see schoolboy football through the lens of, at least in Trinidad 20 years ago, how it was and the amount of people coming out, you still have the rest of the world evolving and putting in place different systems, right? And producing players with way more quality and at a faster rate. When you look at kids like, I'll mention Lamin for the moment, but there's a lot of young players out there that is making it in the game today because they're coming out in an environment that looks nothing like we have for schoolboy football, that lasts about 3 months. But some people are so invested in that for whatever reason that the work to change the system and to provide a different environment for kids is not being done. You can't be as good as the guy in another part of the world if you're playing football over 3 months in an environment like that. You just can't.
So Andre, why am I not depressed about this loss?
Why? I'm taking your disposition in the context that you just came back from Jamaica. I heard about some juices over there. I don't know what you drink.
I did drink a lot of juice
while you were over there.
Some true juice, fruit punch, and true juice, orange pineapple. Yeah, I drank a lot. I don't drink juices.
Real research, and there's a juice. I keep hearing about this juice called cocoa juice or something like that.
I don't think any cocoa juice. I did. You know, I'm not depressed about the loss. There's 2 reasons.
What?
One, I expected to lose tonight, so I prepared myself for it.
Why?
Can I say I was nervous? I was nervous because I couldn't see how we're gonna beat Panama. Not the team I see play against Guatemala. And secondly, I have bigger fish to fry. I have a big snapper to fry. I'm not trying to look at that fish. A nice snapper to fry.
Is it well seasoned?
It's well seasoned.
Okay.
In fact, my brother does not even fry. We don't fry the fish. We must steam it. Because when you steam it, we just stop like a steam fish. Because you know steam fish and a fried fish. You stop like a finger. So
we're doing it by the river or at home?
No, I did at home. We put some enough stuff in there. I know I put in it, but it tastes good because I can't cook. Tastes good. So we're good. We have fish for steam. So we're not worried about tonight. No, we're not depressed yourself. We're not get carried away. We still have the view that the coach is a detriment and not an asset, and he needs to go. Still not gonna change that view.
Well, I'm sure you would agree that. Is there some emotion, and tomorrow you're gonna get up and?
No. I'm Saturday. I had a show on this. This is not because of this game. I did a show Saturday calling for the coach's termination from a nice hotel in Jamaica. By the way, people, you go to Jamaica, go to AC Hotel.
I think Devon is right. I think it's maybe too late.
It's not too late.
Yeah, it can be too late.
No, it's not too late. Not too late.
It probably is. I mean, your couple.
You see, Mexico fire coaches. Mexico probably fire the coach when they must step to go and work up. When they better play work up. Say, you know what? Don't worry, go. Let me call you back.
The type of personality you have to bring in now, because what the coach said tonight, basically, if you think about it in the context in which I discussed it just now, the lack of consistency and the things that lead to that. It takes it all the way to poor leadership. So you've got to bring in.
Wait, back up. Why are we listening to anything this man says? Why are we listening to him? I just bring out this stuff to show how gone he is. I don't say this man says. He can't tell me anything I want to know. I've heard him speak a lot of times. Doesn't know what he's talking about. He's above it. This game has passed him a long time ago. That's why Ten Hag got fired, because he had an assistant like him. That's why he got fired. Okay, you need good assistants, and the assistants he has on his bench. Nobody respects them. Nobody respects his assistants.
So if they don't fire him, you think he should be fired? If they don't fire him,
no, he should be fired. He should be fired. And my mind won't change. He should be fired.
How do you square your belief that you're going to qualify for the World Cup with a coach that you don't think is capable of doing the job?
I said this to a lot of people. We're gonna make the World Cup despite the coach. So you have a liability.
How do you square it? How do you?
Because I believe sometimes it's like okay, if you ever pick a team, it's a bad analogy, but say you have a team and you have Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, you keep on a coach. Kevin Durant you don't need no coach. You don't need no coach. Yes, play team by the field and play some football.
My good friend, temper your expectations. There's a lot of people between your expectations.
Okay, let me rephrase that. You have Thierry Henry, right? You have Thierry Henry. You have Alan Shearer. You have two center forwards. You have to play 4-4-2. 4-4-2. And you got the old system.
Let me tell you something. There's a lot of people between your expectation and reality. So temper your expectation.
I hope that whoever is doing the work to get the citizenship done, then get them done, so we can bring the people in, and we can stop struggle.
Okay.
We need better players. I don't care what anybody says. We need better players.
I think
better players.
As you said, it's not going to be easy, but
no. But I think at the end of the day, we'll cross the line. I think first of all, you gotta come to the office to play. That's the first thing. Everybody gotta come to the office. Hope you don't step in on big pothole.
So you got 9 points. You got 9 points that if you don't get those 9 points,
we have 9 points at the office.
Right. So here's the deal.
If we can't get 3 in Bermuda, Bermuda gonna be tough, Bermuda gonna be tough.
Every game is gonna be tough.
Bermuda gonna be tough.
If you don't get your 9 points at home,
we get 9 points at home. We get 9 points at home.
Aren't you playing Trinidad at home?
We get 9 points at home.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm sending this out to whoever is doing the paperwork for all these players. Please bring them in, and please put them in cotton wool, and make sure they're okay between now. Because if they get injured, my prognostication won't work.
So how you explain Tyrese Campbell? He's got his paperwork.
He just came from see, he's not Premier League. There's a difference. He's not Premier League.
Is he a good player?
He's not Premier League.
You fine with him not playing? You find him fine?
No. I'm not fine. But I'm saying it's not Premier League. You can't justify putting a Premier League player on the bench. Okay, you can't justify it. In fact, they may fire you right away if you don't do it. And I know this based on some discussion I've had. People believe in Premier League players. They try to test it.
Championship players that played in the Premier League.
Here's what I'm saying. These are not none of these are championship players. They ain't championship players.
Huh?
We don't have any championship players. Okay. We have Premier League players we're trying to get. Premier League players, no championship players.
I want you to be that zealous.
In fact, we do have championship players who we can call upon, but we're just not calling. We have a lot of players, We have too many players.
Like Duckland said, this is strong. It's very
strong. What?
I'm finding that out, Duckland. Because Cranky has changed a little bit since he returned from Jamaica. I want to see JD talk about cocoa juice. I didn't know it was.
So Andre, you and I should have a bet. People, we see Andre gonna call me about cocoa juice. We're gonna have a bet, Andre, $1,000 $1,000 that Jamaica make the World Cup at the expense of Trinidad. $1,000 people. That's what we're betting. $1,000. You want to bet? No. Yeah. You want to bet? Yes, I'm gonna call you up on national YouTube. Huh?
We could bet.
I don't gamble either. I don't gamble because I work hard for my money to gamble. I don't gamble, but I want to prove a point.
We could bet a 6-pack of Malta. We can't go to jail for that.
No, we gotta bet somewhere one of us feel the pain. Somebody gotta feel pain for right. I should feel pain for being so confident. You should feel pain for believing. Don't trust my confidence.
Your confidence could be misplaced. Yeah. I know the best feeling every day. They hear
Oh, Jesus. Here we go. See, Andre, it's time to go to bed. Andre. They mashed up our football. Which football? You people can't play football. I thought about mash up football. Them can't play football. See, people talking about them can't play football. The coach told you that. They don't have the football intelligence. That's what he told you. It's the worst thing somebody can tell you. You're not intelligent. The worst thing anybody can tell you ever in life is that you're not intelligent. And the coach says that numerous times. He says it over and over and over. I need to wear much of a football. Which football? I don't know much of the football. Reggae Boyz reactor. I don't know much of the football. You and your people know much of the football at Jamaica and Trinidad and all of the Caribbean. You brainless bunch of people. Anyway, let me close on the program. I'm something I'm going to regret tonight.
Devon.
Last call of the evening. I'm a Devon man. Last call of the evening. I'm going to go to bed.
Frankie, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to your guests.
Yes.
Andre, how you doing? Andre, is your son? How's he doing? Did he get hurt?
Yeah, he did. He did get hurt.
How's he doing?
He's hanging in there. It's as good as he can do. It's a tough injury. It's we wish it didn't happen, but he's probably going to be out for the rest of the season. So he's doing as good as he can do.
See, I told you that's why I told you we're confident. I just told you we're confident. They just lost on the key midfielder. I told you we're confident. Now let's hope we don't lose any of our midfielders. Because we don't have a lot to go with in the first place.
Well, sorry about that, Andre. These things happen. Speedy recovery to your son.
Yeah.
Yes, we agree with the speedy recovery part.
Cranky's a lot of things me you don't agree on, and that's okay.
But it's hard to know that you're always wrong. But keep going.
Okay, so
keep going. Keep going. It's okay.
This is why I like when your host Andre is on the show. He's very balanced, right? He's very balanced
because he's wrong. He's wrong sometimes. That's his problem.
Oh.
I can't afford those luxuries. I can't afford to be wrong.
All right, but Cranky, I hear you saying the coach. They need to fire the coach, right?
Yeah.
Didn't we say that about Hal Grimson?
No, not really. Not really.
Oh, you
we were all a bit. No. I wouldn't have called for it. No, I said I'm not calling for him firing. No, because you know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because at least I could see that defensively we were strong, right? We just had to fix the offense. He didn't have a system of play where to fix the offense. This coach doesn't give me any confidence about anything. I mean, we weren't struggling about arguments for picking teams, were we?
Yes, we were. That's where we're about to move on to.
No. About picking local players, really?
I think not
local players.
Okay.
I think Cranky was with Hackinson. He was raising hell about possession football.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. We didn't play we had no system. But I wasn't saying fine.
Cranky?
Huh?
But what did he say? He told us the truth. He said the players are not good enough. That's why he's playing the way that he's playing. And he was having a hard time selecting the players because the JFF didn't give him the tools, the necessary tools that he needs to select the players.
Right, but my view, I didn't. Hogginson picked the best team he had available at his disposal.
I think if somebody.
Cranky, I think you didn't hear what I just said, Cranky. I think you didn't hear me.
No, but you're talking about the JPF players. I'm saying he picked the best team at his disposal.
No, at his disposal, correct.
Right.
But they didn't, according to him. I didn't say he said it. He didn't get the full autonomy to select the players that he wanted.
Okay.
This is why the team was in a defensive mindset because the players that he was getting, he was saying they weren't good enough.
Yeah, the problem is the JFF doesn't really recruit players the way they should. That's a fact, right? They're not going out like other countries are doing and trying to source the best talent because they're very conflicted about the whole notion of getting local players opportunities and get them exposure instead of finding different ways of doing so. They want to use the national team to do so.
All right, Cranky, let me ask you another question. The president at the Gold Cup tournament that just ended for us?
Yes.
Was he there?
Yes, he was there.
Okay. All right. So as a president, right, how do you feel? Because this happened at the last.
People hit the like button. Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
This happened for the previous 8 coaches that I can count.
Right.
How do you feel, right, when your coach that's on a national syndicate platform answering questions, and by the way, you asked good questions, right? And Jason asked him the question about why he was in the stands, right?
Right.
And your coach is telling you that he's struggling to get a tablet and different things that he needs, right? So this can be functional as far as even a analysis. But yet, as a president, you're here wasting the federation money instead of prioritizing and putting what the coach needs first. And I remember I challenged you on your program about this president that we have, and I'll tell you that this president is the worst. He's mute. He doesn't know how to articulate himself. I don't care about no damn charisma. If you can't move this team forward, you don't need to be no president. Whenever something is going wrong, you can't find him. It's a disrespect for us Jamaicans that have standards, and even people that's over in the Caribbean, because a lot of people look at what's going on in as far as what we're doing right now.
No, look, I mean, I can understand. Andre?
Yes.
You see that thing on the screen? I can understand what you're saying. I think the president does have charisma. I think the president, somebody met the president more recently and told me, Cranky, you're right about what you were saying. That's one thing they told. They met the president. I told you, I say he's a very likable person. Doesn't mean from where I sit that he's doing the best job. In fact, he's not. The president you have to be able to manage confrontation and difficult situations. I don't think he does it well.
Which one are we talking about? From Adrian?
No, A.M. Henry.
Where is he?
The one on the screen.
On the screen.
Yeah. So what from what you're saying?
If you lose, you will wear Reggae Boyz jersey for all shoes and shit.
So look, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
If we lose to Jamaica,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, what you're saying? Go ahead.
From what I'm saying is, they could bring Jesus Christ himself.
You gotta get me in trouble. You're gonna get me in trouble now. You're gonna get me in trouble by saying that.
I already know that you and this God thing. I already know.
Exactly. I don't believe in Jesus Christ, so that shouldn't be part of the conversation.
Fine. All right, listen. You can bring Pele, Maradona.
Okay, good. Pele's dead. Maradona is dead. Can you bring somebody? Can you bring somebody to life, please?
Hold on. Get A.M. Henry.
Can you bring Ronaldo?
I want A.M. Henry to qualify the lose part. If I lose, what?
If you lose in the World Cup qualifiers,
both games or one game.
If you lose, lose to me would be not making the World Cup versus us.
Well, let him clarify.
Okay. So what you said? So caller, sorry. Go ahead. Finish off what you're saying.
To end it at this, Cranky, right? We have seen this before. We have seen this movie before. So I don't know why people is so much in an uprage. This happened under Al. This happened under Papa. This happened under Paul Hall, the female coach. It happened all across every sector.
Do you know that Tapa? Did you know that Tapa? Did Tapa pick local players? Local JPA players. Did he pick local JPA players?
Yeah, Tapa had local players on his team.
No, local JPA. Local JPA players.
No, he had mostly players that was from Jamaica playing overseas.
Exactly.
Right?
He didn't pick local players.
I'm talking about the tools that he needed so he can, you know what I'm saying? Do his job the right way. What I'm saying is the federation is a disgrace. As a president, I have a business here, Cranky, and there's no way if I know I have
Looks like he's live close to Andre. Just skunked up. People. These people live way down south in the bush, and their cell towers must be very far away because they just be talking to you and they just drop. I live in New York City, people. We don't do that. We make sure we have service, so if we have emergencies, we can get the proper treatment. How you guys live in those places, Andre? You just in the middle of his conversation, it dropped.
I could walk.
I thought this was 2025. You guys are living in 19, what? 90s?
I could walk half a mile to Starbucks.
He said walk half miles. We don't walk half a miles in here.
I don't, but I could.
I'm sure we have Starbucks all over New York. We don't have to walk half a mile to get a Starbucks. And first of all,
Chelsea's
I don't drink Starbucks stuff anyway.
What I think about York.
Huh?
I mean, York is a legend, right? From Manchester United. He won.
York is the best player produced in the Caribbean. Period.
Yeah, I mean.
Period. Produced in the Caribbean, English-speaking Caribbean, I should say, because we do have certain players born in the Caribbean who are exceptional footballers. Like, isn't Seedorf born in the Caribbean? I think Seedorf was born in Seedorf.
Seedorf?
Isn't he?
I don't think he was born in the Caribbean.
Isn't he? I think he's Curacao, isn't he? Yeah, I think he's Curacao. You look it up. Look it up. I think he's Curacao.
He did come and play. Didn't he come and play?
I think he coached. I don't think he played.
No,
I think him and Clivert and all of them have the linkage. I'm not sure he's born there. But I think he was born there though.
Seedorf came and played, and then they stopped him because they say he didn't qualify or something like that because of. There's a story there somewhere. I can't remember it clearly. Maybe there wasn't a member of FIFA at the time or some silliness.
So Thuram is from the Caribbean, and Thuram was a brilliant player. Brilliant footballer. But anyway, I'm going to close out the program, people, because it's late, and we are in our sorrow. I am not mourning because I can see the end of the rainbow. I can see the light. I know some of you can't see the light because it's very cloudy right now. You have cataract, so you get cataract surgery. But I don't have cataract like Andre does. Well, I do have cataract, actually. I should change that.
What are the concerns you have, Chelsea?
Chelsea.
Tapper and local JPL players, just like Hankinson and McClaren. He had a few.
Andre, I understand that. As a coach, honestly, I have my concern with him. And back home in Trinidad. So Chelsea is from Trinidad, it looks like. Yeah, Chelsea exactly. Blue. Oh, they're back in York, I think he said, but he has concerns, yeah. Well, I'm not going to blame York for Trinidad's problem. As Andre will tell me, I should look for root cause, so I'm going to blame the administration.
No, there's decades of neglect, right? Neglect of the football. I mean, it is, you can't ignore that because while one individual or a group of individuals could come in and create something that looks like success, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. It's been 2 decades now, at least 2 decades since Trinidad produced a player that left home and went overseas and stuck, right? Like Kenwin Jones and them did, and Dwight York. And
it's kind of funny, right? Stern John, all of them.
Yeah, it's been 2
Latapi, Stern John, York. I mean, what happened? Is it because the football is not much distributed? Is it because we migrate so much? What allows that?
The football has been neglected. There's no sustainable infrastructure for the football.
Yeah.
And the football environment has become a place where Cranky's looking to see what he can get out of it. Nobody's really pouring into it. And to develop players, it takes work, it takes commitment, it takes caring, it takes resources, and there's just not enough of any of those things.
There are a lot of people who believe that this loss is a plus for Jamaica. You agree with that sentiment?
What I would say is there are times that you learn from losing, right? But that's a part of the conversation that I thought was a little bit troubling just now, is when the coach said, what was the statement he made? He said, this is a wake-up call. I mean, Jamaica have had a lot of wake-up calls. You're sleeping very strong in that national team, or you
You said we took drugs.
Yeah, because, I mean, how much more wake-up calls at this point?
I think he's just talking to talk's sake. He doesn't talk a lot of nonsense. He talks a lot of nonsense. I don't listen to the coach anymore.
At this point, Jamaica should be at a place where this was your last tournament before the World Cup qualifier.
We should not be getting knocked out in the first round of this competition. That should not happen.
Strong about what you're doing.
It's not happening.
That's where the team should be. But we're now talking about the lack of commitment. And
somebody said me something. It says, here we go, Steve McClaren at the departure lounge back to England.
See,
the picture. Is it the picture?
Raise it up higher. He's gone already?
No.
Are you kidding me?
No, they're just joking.
Oh, okay.
They're just joking. He's not going. I'm sure he's going tomorrow. I think he probably wanted to go home quicker because he's probably tired. It's too hot in the US.
Yeah, the King said Ted Lasso is better than Steve.
Now, we understand that, but football is still important. Everybody watch EPL. Football is important, but the people running the football are not treating it as is important.
Yeah, they just haven't created the right environment, because football is very magical. It's a magical tool that helps take people out of poverty, provide opportunities, whether it's for college education or not. Look, I tell you that when I was growing up in Trinidad, the opportunities was endless. There's a lot of guys from my era that got scholarships to go to school in America, got opportunities to go to school in America, got opportunities to play football, right? I don't think it's happening in the same way today.
No, it's not, and it's a little bit tragic for different reasons. But yeah, there's a view that sports in general in certain regions of the world is not played like it used to be, because people are very much focused on these these tools they have, right? That provides the distraction and the pleasure that they're looking for, versus going out and exerting themselves physically. So yeah, there's some credence to that. I'm not going to deny that. But I think at the end of the day, if you don't have to create the right environment for people to want to participate and do well, and can see at the end of the rainbow some opportunities, then you're going to have what we have now, which is basically nothing.
Well, it's the truth is, sports is an industry, right? Football is an industry, and I don't think we have ever. It's that way everywhere else in the world, but in the Caribbean, we have not allowed it. We have not turned it into an industry like the rest of the world has, because you can just think about it. You can have an academy, and if you sell every 3 years or so, if you can sell a player for 10 million, 15 million, you can develop a young player with that type of quality, even for 5 million, right? That's a win, right? And I don't think anybody's doing that in Trinidad at the moment. Nobody's doing that.
Didn't someone tell me that Rudolph said he went to well, you don't tell me that he went to England to make sure he's doing his evaluation as part of his duties of the coach and the coaching staff, right?
You say I told you that?
I thought you told me this. Somebody told me this.
Yeah.
And if that was the case, the question is, what was the result of such evaluation?
Well, it's what was the result of it?
Yeah, I thought somebody said he mentioned it on some show that he was on.
Okay.
That he went there to do that. I'm sure somebody told me that.
Okay.
Because I didn't meet with him, and I don't remember what he told me.
Okay. But even if he did, you would have evaluated the coach before you hired him, right?
Yeah.
Because he had a body of work out there. So I don't know what is there to evaluate in this moment. The only thing, the most important thing is results, right? Wins and losses. So and so far, what is his record at the moment?
Whose record?
McClaren?
I think he has a winning one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah?
I think he has a winning one.
Okay.
He may play the Nicaraguas of the world, BVIs of the world, St. Vincent's of the world. He hasn't lost to those teams, right? So
Right, and his job is
he has a winning record.
Very beginning is to qualify for the World Cup, right?
His job is to qualify for the World Cup, but part of that job, I would think, is to make sure we have sustainable performances that are deemed to be good. And right now, neither him or his performances are good. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta close it down, people. It's late. It's after 12 o'clock. I've been here since 5 o'clock this evening. This is a marathon. I mean, that's 7 hours with a small 20-minute break. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. Please hit the like button before you go. Please don't get depressed about what transpired this evening. There's hope at the end of the road. Somebody got to cry, either Jamaica or Trinidad. I prefer them to cry because I don't like to cry. So let's hope that all the people we're trying to pursue to come join the journey, come join us. And let's hope that we can get a new coach who will get us to the promised land. That's all I got to say. Any last word, Andre?
I agree with Reggae Boyz, that last comment there about, the shift in who's playing the game and who's getting the opportunities. There's some truth to, players, the good players almost always come out of the environment where things are tough, right? And and the game is kind of shifted now, and it's not they're not taking care of the game in the way.
How do we know this? Well, because these people will pay for their club substance to get international. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Yeah. Anyway, it's time to go. It's time to go, people. It's time to go. It's time to go. Time to go. Time to go.
At the end of the day, Cranky, starting tomorrow, hopefully, everybody can get it right. I don't think any of the teams is in the best place possible. None made it out of the group stage.
No Caribbean team made it out, people. It shows you how bad the Caribbean is. None. There's only 16 teams in there. Caribbean have about 30-something teams. Not even one made it out. Not one.
Yeah, it's and every time we turn around, we pose in with Infantino, and we pose in with this one.
We are posers. We are posers. We're good posers.
We need to get self-reliant and start working towards having an impact when we go into these spaces.
Here's my last point, people. JFF. I'm talking to you, JFF. Wherever you are. When we win the under 15, you came out in your glory and tell us how we win the 15 championship. When we win the under 20, we went under your bed. We know got knocked the Gold Cup. We want to hear from you. We want some explanation as to how we end up here, where we are, and want some explanation as to what you're going to do to correct the situation to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Well, before you go to bed tonight, text Rudolph and ask him to come on tomorrow.
No, I'm not texting Rudolph to come on tomorrow. I'm not texting Rudolph to come on tomorrow.
So who's gonna talk about it?
They don't have to come on my program. They don't have to come on my program. They can go on anybody's program. Oh, by the way, JFF, if you want to come on my program, be careful now. If you want to come on my program, you're welcome with open arms. You're welcome to join my program. Any one of you, the president, Rudolph, you know what? I've never talked to Roy Simpson. Roy Simpson, you are away at the camp with everyone else. If you're welcome to my program, that invitation will never be taken. Okay, never, never. But I'm putting it out there, people. I'm not exclusionary. I don't have a ton of guests, but the JFF leadership, any one of the individuals there, and by the way, the JFF doesn't hate me. I know they don't hate me. They may not dislike me. They may not dislike me.
Look, somebody's trying to fire your favorite coach.
Who? Oh, why you want to fire him?
You're just like firing coaches in Jamaica.
I know, man. We out of control. Let's fire you for nothing. You know what? I don't like how you look. You're gone. Don't fire you.
Look, watch. Firing coaches in Jamaica is a pastime.
It looks like it. Like fighting for, even if they perform well, we fire them. Took it to the last 16 of the World Cup, we fire you. Right? So anyway, I gotta go, people.
All right, brother.
Andre, we'll talk.
All right. Okay.
Have a good night. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for being here. People, before you go, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please share the channel. We do appreciate you. Seriously, we do appreciate you. You have been a wonderful audience. You've been an attentive audience. Thanks for all the people who have called into the program. Some very interesting calls tonight. Very interesting calls tonight. But we appreciate you. All right? Thank you. A tough evening. It will get better. I promise you it will get better. All right? Maybe at somebody's expense, but it will get better. Somebody got to feel the pain. We're going to feel better about ourselves. Have a wonderful evening. Peace out. Good night. Frankie Life is the best to be now. For the best sports talk and it's free, yo. Frankie Life will be your guiding light by keeping you informed both day and night. Frankie Life, tell them. Frankie Life, heed them. Frankie Life, want them. Frankie Life. From the courts to the field, we'll never lose because Cranky has the hottest news. With expert analysis, we break it down. Our in-depth coverage is best in town. Cranky Life, tell them. Cranky Life, heed them. Cranky Life, want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life where the sports is spicy and where we keep the discussion lively. Cranky Life, get to know the name because Cranky analysis is never lame. Cranky Life, give me my Cranky Life. I want my Cranky Life. Must have my Cranky Life. Whether it's football or track and field, you know Cranky is at the wheel. So join the journey through victory and defeat and subscribe and don't miss a beat of Cranky Life. Tell them, Cranky Life. Heed them, Cranky Life. Want them, Cranky Life. If you're from England or USA, from Kingston or Bombay, from Kenya or Canada, Lagos or Havana, visit Cranky Life. Tune into Cranky Life. Like up Cranky Life. Subscribe to Cranky Life. Cranky Life coming to you on weekdays. Cranky Life sometimes on Sundays. Pull up a chair and take a seat because Cranky will always bring the heat. Cranky Life. Me say fi tell them Cranky Life. Me say fi heed them Cranky Life. On them Cranky Life. Cranky Life will be around. Cranky Life is the best in town. Me say fi heed them. Me say fi want them. Me say fi heed them. Want them, heed them, want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life. Cranky. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them. Heed. Want. Heed. Want. Heed them.